It's all new with less carbs and more negativity.
Get it out. Get it out of me.
Get ready for Nobody Likes Onions.
Good morrow, everybody. Sorry about that on the delay there to start the program. Didn't mean for it to be weird. Good day, everybody. Happy Friday, and thanks for joining in the program tonight. We're so glad you could be here. Really lets me know the kind of caliber of person we have in the room when you're here on a Friday night. Friday night, short notice. You're kind of a loser, let's be honest. But so am I. You know, I'm here. I'm clearly not working. We'll talk about that sooner. And all night long, we'll be taking your phone calls tonight. It's a big party. It's a big get, of a night for me. Your guest for tonight you're gonna love, ladies and gentlemen. You've loved him on the Facebook group for the past couple of weeks. Give it up for James Hesky, everybody.
Hey, how's it going? I feel weird clapping for myself, but thanks for having me on. This is. I'm looking forward to this very much.
You're looking forward to this? That
Yeah.
sounds vindictive.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to this, and it's just starting, and I'm looking forward to continuing and us building a wonderful relationship. And there's no way it's going to get weird.
No, I think it's going to be the start of something super beautiful.
Yeah, this is how things work. People are owed money together, and then they bond, and then they do each other's radio shows. And
it is weird in this business
snuggle.
how people meet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what I love to do also, I should explain to everybody why I'm acting preoccupied. I love to set the cameras all up, the look. And then ask you to move at the end. It's a really sweet way to get stuff done.
If anybody, just one thing, if anybody wants to, tweet at me and tell me that I look dumb, please do. It's fine. You're allowed to. Just
we
tell
have a
me
chat
about
room. I'll read you some of the insults there as they pour in, if that's
good.
helpful.
Yeah, no, it's always. I don't want to ever feel too good. So if you could just
about yourself,
about myself. So
because last time it was all about your mole. I want to let you know.
Oh, that's good.
100%
that is
transparency here. Last time a lot of mole talk.
Hey, that means the weight loss I'm doing is working. If the mole is more prominent, that means that the man
girth?
tits are not.
That's true.
We're getting there. I'm just excited to be almost regular ugly.
So how much weight have you lost? Because I've also lost. I'm at 51 pounds now.
Nice.
I'm trying to lose 100, and I'm over the hill. It feels
nice. Yeah, you're. It's now comes the hard part. So I've
really
lost
tough for a pothead drunk like me.
Well, I've heard you are an alcoholic.
Yeah, it's been buzzing around the net.
Yeah, I started at 350. This is like 5 years ago.
Yeah,
5-6 years ago, and I got down to under 300, and then I kind of just maintained for a long time, and I was kind of bouncing between 285 and a little over 300, and then over the summer I was at sort of that high again. I was like 305, and as of today I was like I think 272.
Yeah.
So down like another 30 plus pounds since the summer.
So whatever that Facebook post was where you said you were under 270 was a lie, or
no,
did
that was the truth.
Thanksgiving put you back over?
Thanksgiving put me back over.
Yeah.
It totally. I put on 6 pounds.
You got sacked.
Yeah.
You went back a little bit.
And the 269 was also I had gotten drunk the night before and hadn't started rehydrating yet, so I was hungover. And I don't think I ate dinner that night, so I was just like I'd been eating healthy, or I had a small dinner, and I drank a bunch, and I was just totally dehydrated, and I hit 269, and then after Thanksgiving, I was like up to like I think 275, 276, and I was like, okay, let's back on the train here. So trying to be super healthy and only just stick to heroin. That'll really try.
That's what you're sticking to?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like a good plan.
Well, keeps me from
I'm going to be
from
100%
eating.
honest with you.
It's really hard to eat when you're nodding off.
Is it?
It's super hard. Like
People are saying we're being DDoS'd, that we're dropping on the stream. You know, we had this problem last time. I don't know if Coby and Butch have a team of sophisticated hackers working behind the scenes. I didn't go all throughout the compound
yeah.
of the comedy club slash
Speakeasy.
stripper den
Yeah.
there at the hideaway.com. But anyway, they got a lot of rooms, I'll tell you that.
They sure do.
And a lot of twists and turns. And it wouldn't surprise me if there was somewhere a cavern of dorks
They just,
figuring out how to DDoS me.
they're the same ones that hacked Sony. It's a bunch of North Koreans he's got in a back, a back room, just trying to hack people and keep them from putting movies out.
I really hope that's not true when you say things like that.
Oh, sorry.
Because that could be bad for us. I can't fend off a team like that.
The North Korean hackers. I just watched Olympus Has Fallen, and I will tell you, those North Koreans, you got to watch out for them.
I'm trying to see what's going on here with this because we're losing everything, you know?
Oh, no.
We're having a bad start.
Well,
the
luckily,
show.
everything I've said so far has been really dumb, so I'm glad they
No,
haven't
it's just
heard
been kind of, we're ramping into it. This is Friday night, and I know a lot of people in the chat have big expectations for tonight. Great expectations.
That's, one of my favorite books,
And we'll get into
let's
it, but
say.
there's no need to rush here. We got a lot of catching up to do. I haven't done a show in a week.
Oh. That's
But you brought this scotch, so I want to
Yeah.
dive into this because I do love to drink.
yeah, it's a problem. I want to get you so drunk you can't podcast.
Now, what is this? I don't know what this is.
It's a Balvenie 14 year.
The Balvenie.
It's a my brother. I think it was the 14 year that he recommended to me.
I'm tripping off the Balvenie.
Yeah, we're both bourbon drinkers, my brother and I, and then he switched over to Scotch. He still likes bourbon, but he started to become more of a Scotch guy, and I just couldn't follow him too deep because it's expensive.
It is a very, and you know, by the way, you we'll get into this more, but you actually got your check finally from the Hideaway.
I did, and a good chunk of that. I was like, I'm sending half of it to Nobody Likes Onions because I had just given up on the idea that I was going to get paid. I was just going to try to embarrass the club, and then the fact that I got paid, I'm like, all right, here we go. Thank you, sir.
Oh man, we're gonna.
I'm
drink.
like, this is
Look at
found-
that. We put a dent in that already.
Yeah, I was like, this is found.
Cheers.
Salud. This is found money. So you said you weren't going to accept
Yeah,
my
I'm
money.
not
so
going to
I'm like-
take your money. You know what I want? The money this club owes me.
But at the very least, I wanted to give a thank you. So how about a nice bottle?
Well, thank
nice
you.
bottle of scotch.
I do appreciate it.
Yeah,
Ooh, the Balvenie. That's really smooth.
yeah, it's good, right?
Wow.
It's good shit.
It's almost like Kool-Aid.
Yeah,
Did you get me Kool-Aid?
I did. It is.
Guys, send me your Kool-Aid. We've got a P.O. box. Check out our website if you want to send in your gifts or your fine bottles of scotch. I don't even know if you can order it by mail, but I do love my scotch.
Here's a fun thing. My brother lives in
That is
Seattle.
a fun thing.
No, my brother lives in Seattle, and there was a thing where you can age your own bourbon, where it's like you get
Little
unaged
keg?
yeah, little
Barrel?
yeah, a little barrel, and you get like a couple bottles of unaged bourbon.
Yeah, I saw
'cause it's-
Mila Kunis do that in a commercial.
Because it's so sweet.
Like, I'll be back for this later. She had a Mila brand.
Wasn't it Beam that she was making?
Yeah, I'm sure.
So this was a little bit better, but because it's so small, it ages really quickly. Because like the surface area, I guess it's touching. Whatever.
I got to
don't
tell you, that
understand
shit
sci-
hits you.
Yeah, it's nice, right?
Wow.
It's good.
I mean, it goes
warm.
down so smooth, you don't really think about it. You know, you don't have fumes coming out of your mouth after.
Yeah,
And it, 2 minutes in,
it's good. Yeah, like I said, it really goes well with the heroin.
Put hair on your dick.
Yeah, just on it, not even around it, just on it. Like
If you
growing out of
soak it in there, it'll take
Yeah.
it off.
It's-
I've read.
But I tried to send it to my brother. The place is based in Washington. And for some reason, they send it to like Michigan. And then this dispensary in Michigan sends it out. And they're not allowed to send it back to Washington.
Like a distributor?
yeah. So it's like,
Yo, liquor laws are really weird.
so I had to just send my brother money. And I was like, look, just for Christmas here, just go to the store down the street from you and buy this. Here's like the exact amount of money it costs.
I was listening to Adam Carolla's podcast. He has this swill he sells called Mangria.
Oh yeah.
And he was talking about just to get it into the, people don't know how liquor works. There's a really good movie on Netflix about craft beer, like small breweries, and why it's so hard to get into, and why most of the craft beer you drink is actually owned by giant beer
like
conglomerates. But these distributors control everything.
Yeah.
It's all about warehouse space and pallet space, and like to get in is just super fucking hard.
Yeah. I grew up in Pennsylvania, and the laws there are like other than Utah, basically, it's like the strictest liquor laws.
Labels have to be different in different states, and like something can't be called or has to be called a wine-based cocktail versus liquor. It's very weird.
The
how
laws
it's not
are
a
dumb.
national thing. Like a lot of stuff, how it's not national. Like weed.
Yeah.
And mass murder.
That's kind of going
seems to
national.
be legal in
That
certain
seems-
states.
Yeah. Well, listen, it's in the Second Amendment that if people are upsetting
what?
you, you're allowed to march into work
open fire?
with a gun. I think that's in the. I haven't read the Constitution.
I do love watching. We have to talk about this San Bernardino thing because this happened in the past week, and I didn't even get to talk about the Paris one that much, and then I didn't get to talk about the one that happened in between on the shootings tour.
Yeah, there's
Minnesota.
The Planned Parenthood one.
Yeah, it's like, dude. And then I saw some stat that there had been 355 mass shootings this year.
Yeah, we're good at them.
Or some shit like that.
Yeah, that's what it's. The scariest thought is that some of these the immigrants or the refugees we're worried about, what if they came over and actually assimilated and started killing us? Like, that would be the problem, is if they assimilated to our gun culture and just got pissed off at work and the government and we're like, oh, that's how you handle things here. Got it.
Well, I did watch a video today of a madman in London with a machete surrounded by like 30 police officers.
Uh-huh.
And, the cops don't have guns.
Right.
And it's the funniest thing I've ever seen because this madman has a machete, which they don't even have anything close to that. They've got like a wand.
Yeah.
I think they have one of Harry Potter's wands.
Yeah.
I think they're like, away, criminal.
Yeah. No, thank you.
We don't have time for your mischief around here.
We're going to make you sad with an Adele album.
On the other hand, they sell papers. Evening edition. Get away, criminal.
Yeah, take me last pape.
Yeah. 2 pence, governor. Anyway, Britain's dumb.
So glad we left.
And started our own shit box.
Yeah, nothing bad happens here.
Yeah. Well, they're over there on, Crooked Tooth, Hawaii, as far as I'm concerned. It's just an island nobody cares to visit.
Crooked Tooth, Hawaii.
Yeah.
I wanted
people stop there on their way to destinations in Europe, just like people stop over in Hawaii on their way to destinations in Australia or Asia.
Yeah. Although I went to Hawaii once, it is very nice. It's beautiful.
It's like New Zealand. New Zealand's not a real place. It's a place where planes that have an engine problem taking off in Australia can land.
Yeah. MH370 wishes it could have made it to New Zealand.
Right.
But it's only half a step up.
Sandbar at best.
Yeah. It's only half a step up than crashing into the ocean.
Yeah. And then I saw something that they're going to find that plane, by the way.
Oh,
soon.
yeah. They're eventually. I mean, the ocean's not that big.
You know what I was thinking, though, that we have all these mass shootings. You know what I really miss? Don't get me wrong. Mass shootings are fun. I love curling up next to the fire and watching a good CNN story as good as the next
It's nice.
guy. But old-timey...
I'm excited wherever this is going.
Yeah, sure. I'm not even saying old timey because that's not the right phraseology.
I was just gonna say because whatever happens next in my head has that piano music over that bang bang ding 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 ding, and it's
the player piano
and it's
just being played by a ribbon of paper.
Yeah, and just guys in top hats like
saloon doors swinging.
Mm-hmm. So tell me about this
not
old timey.
Not necessarily old timey, but First of all, crime gangs.
Yeah.
Where'd that go? Especially with Facebook.
I know. I haven't just gotten the shit kicked out of me for no reason in a while.
I've never been invited to join a crime group. So that seems like something we're all missing out on.
It is.
Social media wise.
Mm-hmm.
ISIS seems to have it down.
Yeah.
Don't they have a Twitter?
Yeah, they have a bunch of Twitters.
Because they have to keep changing them.
Yeah, because
Twitter won't verify their account. You're like, send us a picture of you holding your own head.
No, make sure you're following ISIS official. Like, you don't want to follow one of those fake
the
ISIS
real
accounts.
ISIS.
Yeah,
but gangs of criminals, that's fun. You remember like in like Western flyers, they would have like the flyer up with the 4. It'd be like, Johnny Pinky Fingers Pinky, or whatever. Like everybody would have a nickname first of all, which was badass.
But they were all Pinky Fingers for some reason. Like every guy, it's Johnny Pinky Fingers McGee.
I don't know why I would do this.
And Steve
when I
Pinky
say Pinky Fingers, I'd use
Dugson.
every finger but.
It's like even their thumbs are pinkies.
But also
The Wet Bandits.
Bank robberies. Yeah, the Wet Bandits from Home Alone.
Yeah.
Nobody does that shit anymore. Yeah, like calling cards.
Yeah.
The last big fucking like really cool, awesome killer. And I know that sounds.
No, I'm with you. I've had this conversation with other
Yeah,
comedians
this is why
before.
I left the West Coast.
Yeah.
You couldn't say things like this. It's fun to watch a murderer.
I mean, unless he's like doing you. It's less fun to watch that. I try not to watch.
Everybody loves a good selfie.
Yeah.
The Beltway sniper.
Oh, yeah.
That guy who wasn't he leaving like playing cards and shit, like at the scenes.
Was he the Joker?
But he was also like shooting people,
Yeah.
just pumping gas and
Yeah,
shit.
they were-
It was
my-
badass.
I have family in D.C., and there was, at the time, he was leaving threats to, like
he shot a kid getting off the bus.
Yeah, so, like...
Dude didn't give a
any,
fuck.
Any, like, after-school activity that was outside was canceled in the whole D.C. area. Like, there was no after-school soccer practice or football or baseball or whatever. It was... Because he was threatening to
Lee
do that.
Malvo, right?
That sounds right. Was that the older guy or the younger guy? Because the younger guy...
Kid.
Yeah.
The kid was doing most of them, right? The older guy was like teaching the kid. I remember it all happened like one night really crazy when that got taken down. I was glued to the TV. Mm-hmm. But like they were digging up some like tree stump in a backyard in Washington State.
Yeah?
And then they had tied it to like some other bank robbery down in Atlanta, like from 6 months
that's
earlier.
right. It was a crazy...
And they were digging the bullets out of the tree stump because they had used it for like
target practice?
practice.
Oh, Jesus.
And it was like the ex-wife's house or something.
That's right.
It was like insane how it unfolded because it unfolded in like 6 hours.
Yeah.
And then they put out the alert for the vehicle type and the license plate. And then I remember within hours, they caught him. Like they were asleep at a fucking rest stop in their car.
Yeah.
And someone called it in.
Because they had it set up so with the car, I remember watching like a show about it. They had it set up so that you could basically you could lay down in the back across like into the trunk and
shoot out
it
the
would shoot out the
keyhole.
keyhole.
Yeah.
And it was like so it's like nobody
Like a lot of cars have that fold down like
Yeah.
crawl area, and I don't know if they built one or whatever.
like, modified it.
But insane.
That was
Such
they
a good
never
plan.
should have
Like,
gone to
but
exhibit to
none of
pimp
these,
that ride.
these guys all fuck up today. Nobody really carries out this plan.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like these guys had all these unexploded bombs in San Bernardino. Like, get on your shit.
Yeah.
Have a fucking thing down. And I'm not saying I will, but when I do, end it all. Because it's I mean, I don't know if you've checked Twitter lately, but it's falling apart rapidly for me.
Yeah. Well, you're not. You're an alcoholic and a
weed guy.
and a weed
A weedman.
weedist.
Yeah.
It sounds like someone with like a little toddler who is like joining the Republican Party. Like, we can't let these weedists run our government.
Weedists.
These weedists.
Yeah. It's Chris Hardwick's Weedist podcast.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, like where were we there? I lost.
I don't know. We were
track 'cause
talking
went
about
off on
how you would do this. You were talking about you were
I'm
about to
I'm
read
just
your
saying-
manifesto.
Yeah,
I think.
sorry, everybody. I'm out of it.
Is that a full notebook with handwritten stuff in it, just complete front to end? That's okay. Sorry.
Yeah. It's gonna be hard to post this on Facebook. I'm gonna have to go to a Kinko's.
Yeah.
All my killings will take place at Kinko's. No, but like I'm saying bank robbers.
Yeah.
I'm saying like, remember like Point Break? Mm-hmm. I'm talking about a coordinated team. I watched a movie one time with a team of dogs that robbed a bank. You know, where is that shit?
Yeah. Remember Jail Bud? It was a great.
Sorry.
That was
No, I'm not a millennial dork.
Yeah, Air Bud.
No, I don't watch any of the Bud series.
No. How
No.
about how about
Christian.
MVP, most valuable primate? Did you catch that one?
No, I did see Dunstan checks in.
Oh yeah, that's another classic.
With
How about
my
MVP
buddies,
2, most vertical primate, where he becomes a
What?
He like does the X Games stuff.
I think we've beat it around the bush here with foreplay long enough. The people in the chat have to be going like, where's the talk about the comedy club? First of all, this doesn't consume my life.
Yeah.
You know, for all the people so far who are going like, you're going so hard.
Yeah.
I ain't.
Yeah.
I swear to God, and I know Butch and Coby will watch this, and I know it'll get recorded and sent to them if they're not watching already. Mm-hmm. And we do have your Twitter. We built this really cool view where it's me with a split screen with the Twitter. So if you want to tweet, your tweets will show up live.
That's awesome.
And the same for James, and that's what we'll have for the night.
I like somebody's already inviting them to join in.
Yeah, good.
That
Yeah,
would be
Richard
great.
tweeted him to come join in. But way to not tweet him the URL to watch. And I'm not kidding, guys. Hashtag DoAC for every tweet. Because that's the
brilliant.
big local
Yeah.
marketing, entertainment hashtag.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to know these guys, by the way, still haven't paid me.
Yeah.
And I've been told, well, I'm getting way ahead of myself.
We got a whole story here. Yeah.
For people who don't know James and who haven't caught up with our show from last weekend, you're a comedian. You worked there the week after me.
Yeah, I think so.
And you weren't paid either.
Right. I was told I was going to get paid there, and then the on Saturday night they're like, "Look, the money guy isn't here."
But this is Butch.
Yeah, this is Butch. The money guy isn't here.
Did he pull you out into the little hallway outside the door?
Well, I asked because they needed to see the headliner, and the headliner was like, they were like, "Oh, we're gonna figure out the money," and I was like, "Okay, do you need to talk to me too?" And there's another guy there. I don't want to mention because he was really professional with me, but he seemed to run the day-to-day sort of stuff.
You mention him if he's nice and
Okay, but Ron was great. Like he was
all the employees were super
Yeah.
nice to me. I have nothing against any of the employees. Even Lena, the bartender, who's also Kobe's girlfriend, probably hates me.
Yeah,
Because I didn't pay my tab or tip.
yeah,
But I had a feeling this was happening.
yeah,
And I asked him to take my tab, which should have never happened,
yeah.
out of my check.
Right.
And look where we are. Weird. How dumb would I have felt if I would have paid? I mean, I feel pretty dumb now.
Right. So I left on Saturday, and Butch told me like, look, we're gonna get it. We're gonna get this sorted out on Monday. And Ron told me the same thing. Like, we'll get it sorted out on Monday. Fill out this tax form. Leave it with us.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
And I'm like, okay. Like, I was a little bit nervous, but I was like, look, for me, it's $200. I'm lucky enough to be in a situation where I don't want to be out $200, but that's not going to stop me from paying my rent right now. So I was like, look, all right, I will be in touch with you. Butch texted me, like, so that I would have his number, and he said, send me a message on Monday. And then we texted for 3 straight weeks with Butch just saying, oh, it's coming. I talked to Coby. He's dealing with it. And then it's like, oh, it's getting sent out. Checks were cut last week. They're coming out. And then it was like, oh, I'm just a comedian. I don't know any of this.
And we
I
put
don't
all
know
the
how this
text
works.
up from both of us, and I covered them on my last show as well. And by the way, a lot has happened.
Yeah.
We have a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
And later tonight, we're getting a phone call from Britney Shannon, who is Coby's ex-business partner when Butch Bradley's comedy Hideaway was Britney Shannon's Hideaway,
Yeah.
which was a strip club.
Just people on stage with daddy issues. It's the same.
Yeah.
Pretty
I got
much.
because these drink cards I got are for Brittany Shannon's
Oh, I didn't
Hideaway.
get one of those.
Yeah, well,
Ooh.
I'll talk about the drink cards too because we've got a lot of new information. A lot is so during the past week, a lot's happened. You know, we did the show Saturday night. Sunday, it all got out. Everybody's tweeting and texting. What's funny is Butch is communicating throughout this whole time far more with James than me.
Yeah.
And I'm owed $1,200.
I was a 2.
And I've said I'm not asking again. And by the way, we've come to find this out. Coby knows none of this.
Yeah.
Coby thinks I'm over here just knee-jerk reacting with a crazy radio show.
Right.
I'll tell you something, man. I begged. I honestly didn't have your email address, and I didn't realize the club email went to you, to Coby,
Yeah.
or I would have sent it.
Yeah.
But I sent Butch an email begging. I sent him text begging, round and round and round. And I said, I need you to pay urgent attention to this. And it just got ignored. When I was hired, I was told $800 for the weekend. You're going to come in on Thursday night, and you're going to, we'll give you an extra $100. You're going to host the open mic. By the way, I've put that video up in its entirety today. I've started posting the videos from the weekend because these guys are now absolutely slandering and libeling me, telling comedians, and I can prove that bookers have seen this. I've been in contact with bookers about this.
Yeah.
I can prove bookers have seen this. You saying that I was trashed on stage. Like, you're telling people that. I have Butch in a phone call saying that I need help and I'm a fucking addict. These are I'm not fucking with you.
Yeah.
These are very serious fucking things to throw around.
Yeah. Especially somebody who's
Like,
still.
it's my career.
Yeah.
And by the way, I've not yet said one fucking word about Butch Bradley, the comedian. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about Butch Bradley, the fucking business owner.
Yeah.
The guy
the partner.
who should have fucking handled this. Patrick is hooked on oxygen. Yeah. Live for the stuff.
And I will also say, on Monday, Coby reached out to me saying this is the first he had ever heard of me, and this is after 3+ weeks of Butch saying that Coby's sending this out. He told me that he was doing it. So since then, the thing with Coby, I got paid very quickly after that. It went out that day. He sent me a picture of it to show, like, look, this I'm sending out. He sent me tracking numbers, and it arrived.
By the way, honest businessman.
Yeah.
I don't need that when you
Yeah.
really mail a check because I
Right.
know that normal first-class mail takes a day.
Yeah.
You know why? Because I got a mailing from the Borgata the Friday after Thanksgiving, and it got here Saturday.
Yeah. Right. But he did it so that he could send tracking numbers.
Yeah, of course.
And make sure, okay, so this is covered. And it did. It happened very quickly, and so that was good.
Yeah,
that was
but
great.
this was in
that
panic mode.
Oh, absolutely. It only happened because you and the rest of the fans here actually stepped up and did
And
something.
Butch and
I
Coby will tell
appreciate
you
that
had
so
nothing
much.
to do
Oh,
with
yeah.
that. They pay their comedians. This is an oversight.
Yeah, that's what he said. It was an oversight. I'm like, well, and I told Coby, I'm like, look, I don't know what's going on there. I can't speak to anything else, but what I can say is this is what Butch is saying about you. If you're saying you never heard of me, Butch spent 3 weeks putting the whole blame on you, Coby. So if I was a business partner with somebody, I would want to know somebody was saying that. So I appreciate the fact that I got paid, but it spent, it took me a month almost, and it only happened because the radio show here actually made a big deal out of it.
Well, they'll tell you that it had nothing to do with that.
Of course they will. But I don't buy it for a second.
But also, we have the text of him telling you, once I pay you, I need you to go online and say that you were paid professionally. And just as he said with Vim and Vimmer, which isn't a thing.
Yeah. I Vimmed it. I did. I updated it to show everybody.
Yeah, no one's saying you weren't paid.
Right.
You were paid.
I was paid. But I also, one of the things that I wanted to make sure to do was when I posted I was paid, I also thanked everybody here.
And I appreciate that.
Because I was like, I don't want to be the propaganda that's like, see, it's just Patrick. So obviously he's done something.
This was his goal, right? Yeah. His entire goal here, and if you don't know what we're talking about, you really got to go back and listen to the last show. But his entire goal here was to make me look like a lone nut.
Right.
And first of all, I ain't gonna.
Yeah.
I'm cool, I'm calm, I'm collected. I know the facts.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the problem, Coby. You have no clue what happened that weekend. You don't.
Yeah.
You don't. You were there Tuesday night for a minute because a TV show was filming. So you came to put on a jacket and smile for the cameras like you love doing in front of a curtain. That's what you love doing, right? Being the guy who owns the thing where everybody hangs. You weren't there after that night. You weren't there Thursday. You weren't there Friday. You weren't there Saturday. You're texting other people who are texting you, pretending to be me. They didn't even pretend to be me. You wrote, I assume this is Pat. By the way, motherfuckers, my name is Patrick. It's Patrick. I told Butch to stop bringing me up on stage to Pat. My name is Patrick. It never was Pat. I've told you all it ain't Pat. And none of you can get it. Who's the fucking weirdo?
It was...
I'm telling you, Coby,
you
you don't know shit. You're saying facts that are wrong. You're embarrassing yourself. You're embarrassing your business. You're acting like you've never been on the net before, calling people bedwetters and little babies. You've called me fat. You've texted fat jokes to me and written fat jokes to other people about me.
Any good ones?
No, like Baby Huey.
Oh.
You know? This guy's so fucking out of it and dated. Do you really want to get in a battle of wits with me? I'll fucking spin circles around you, biatch. Like, there's not even a chance. Like, if you really want to go somewhere and fucking talk to each other and try to be witty in front of people where you're going to look like the fucking quick guy, it ain't going to happen that way. It ain't. Tweets are rolling in now. They love it.
This is good. Yeah, the fact that I got paid, I knew was a way to try to get me to just be done with this, but I'm not. I'm still like, you helped me out, so the only thing that I can think is like, I can't. It would be really shitty of me to back out and now suddenly not be involved in any of this.
Hold on one second. I have a sensitive issue here.
Oh yeah. Okay. There we go.
Okay. Sorry about that. There's a lot of moving parts tonight.
Yeah. No. We had to. It was the security here at the station that was
the security. So I talked to Butch on the phone. He called in the middle of me being live on the radio.
Oh God, this is the best.
And I was doing my morning show, PM in the AM. PM out in the morning.
Yeah.
And he calls in, and we have the recordings of this call. And I'm like between like trying to be nice and reason with me and then yelling at me. And I want to make this very clear, everybody. I like Butch. I had a great time hanging out with Butch.
Yeah.
Butch is a funny guy. He's a funny comic. He will trash me. He says I suck. He says I'm an open micer. He says I'm shit. I also have videos and texts of him calling me a genius and that I'm like... Butch, I like you. It's an intervention, man. It's over. Like, the lies, they got to stop. You're lying to everybody. It's not helping. It's not helping. Like, Coby looks like a fucking ass. Let me tell you something. Coby looks like an ass right now because he has no idea what's going on, and he's flapping his mouth like a fucking gorilla, just pounding his chest, confidently saying shit that he isn't right about.
Yeah.
And it looks fucking asinine to do that as a business.
Yeah.
I'm fucking being professional, aside from all the drinking and swearing. But I want everybody to realize this first and foremost, in case you didn't get it from the hour of joking we did before we started this serious talk. This is a comedy program. I bring comics on. We have a good time. I invited Butch to do this program. He blew me off. You have 700 Twitter followers, motherfucker. You might want to pay attention to the net.
Yeah.
I like Butch. This ain't about Butch, and it ain't about hurting Butch. However, your name's on the club. I don't know how else to get anyone's attention. Do you think I'm just supposed to move on and not get paid? I'm being lied to. It's all come out this week. It's all come out.
Not only lied to, but lied about. That's what if they had some sort of beef with you and they would say, look, we're working this out. Let's figure this out. We think you owe us some money. I'm like, okay, there's negotiations going on. But instead, they're saying this kind of bullshit about you. And that's when I'm like, I can't, just because I got paid doesn't mean I'm done talking about this right now and done backing you up. Can I ask, when was the call that Butch called and talked with you in the morning?
Monday morning.
Okay. I just wanted to wait because he was texting me one day, and I think it was it was Monday morning. I gotta find it.
Well, let's go to Sunday morning first. Sunday morning, your phone starts ringing, or your texts start blowing up because
I'm going back to the text.
Fans, this is when fans grabbed the show and they realized what was going on. Our Facebook group got involved, and everyone kind of started tweeting them.
Yeah.
Like, why didn't you pay? You should pay your comics. What was funny is they were being really vague.
Yeah.
And these guys, and by the way, if you think I'm out on some crazy limb, people are saying James is a beautiful man, Butch is the problem, Coby is a bad man. Coby gives me the Colombian drug lord vibe. Our chat is weird.
Yeah.
But what's happening is they didn't know who was instigating this problem. Yeah. They were just getting a few tweets trickling. And so Butch started reaching out to you, which is insane.
Yeah,
why wouldn't you reach out to the person you owe the most money to? And maybe they owe money to more people. We have both heard, and I don't want to throw any local comics under the bus with this. There are a couple of you that are absolute snakes and worms. Michelle Tomko, Zach Pickard, calling you out. You guys are kind of snaky individuals, and you serve your own short-term agendas, and you're not very open-minded. I've been reached out by a lot of local comedians there, going like, "These guys are using us for free stage time. We see what's going on." All this kind of covert stuff, and they get it. And they were like, "By the way, we think you're like one of the funniest locals they brought in. We think you're one of the funniest comics they brought in."
Yeah.
So it's very disingenuous to now be attacking my comedy and my professionalism when any evidence you're going to point to, whether it's dealing with this issue publicly or, I'm serious. Take me in there right now after smoking weed and drinking and talking on my radio show and play this to the court. I'm not ashamed of it.
Yeah.
I'm handling this like a fucking adult. I have a comedy radio show. I'm going to talk about it there.
Well, and that's what I told any of any other sort of local comics there. I've just said, in the end, you can make your decision about what you do there and as far as where you go. But what I'll say is that this club is only going to be able to help you with stage time. These things, whenever some place tells you we have an industry night, that's a red flag for this is a scam to try to get you in. It doesn't. An industry night literally means nothing, and it's that place. If you want to use it for stage time because there's nothing else around there, that's fine. But just be careful. And that's been my message. Like that's not you can't take it for more than that.
The dangerous thing is like Butch. I know Butch is a night he wants to make. I'm starting to say Butch is a good guy. You're not, because when the lies get involved and it fucks people's lives over, you've seen the text where this motherfucker is trying to set me up for the reason we missed radio and shit. And it's like the night before we were drinking and you were hugging me, telling me about how we're genuine friends now.
Yeah.
And how you're gonna help me get into fucking Zany. You're going to help me get into Brad Garrett's MGM Club. All this stuff you're going to do for me. You kept telling me all weekend, Coby, I'm Coby's favorite comedian. This must have been a real big hoot to you since Coby wanted to fire me after Tuesday night. This is all the shit I'm finding out now. You ready for this? This is great, and I love this. I love this. I call it reconciliation season. I go to the club Tuesday. I take a cab there on Butch's orders. I've never gotten to a city, by the way, not been told how to get to the club. Or how to get to the hotel, what hotel I'm at.
Yeah.
I'm at the bus station going, like, what hotel do I go to?
That happened to the headliner that I was with too. He didn't know what hotel he was
Butch
going to.
is supposed to be handling all this kind of concierge / liaison to the comedians and the booking. You're not handling it. I don't know what you're doing all day, but it ain't nothing to do with the club.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get back to people. I should have known before. I have the text from, like, before when I'm trying to find out where to send my shirts, when I'm trying to find out, about money.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, with the money, so $800 for the weekend, another $100 for the Thursday, and then I was offered $300 to come in on Tuesday. They were going to have it catered. It was going to be this big deal. Second week of the industry night on Tuesday. And I got there and it was a flop. The fact is, it was Halloween weekend and the week was a flop.
Yeah.
It was dead. And it ain't my fault. I know you guys didn't make money, but it's not my fault. It's not my fault. And if you want to put the tapes up of the whole shows, I stand by my performances. It's not my best shining example of comedy, but I stand by the performances. And I have all the tapes, and you guys are threatening me that you have tapes that show something else. And you're being absolutely slanderous and libelous by saying this shit about me. It's just not true. It's just not true. I know Coby thinks weed is like the craziest thing on the planet. You're living in your own fucking bubble, dude. Ain't nobody going around going like, a comic smoked weed. You own a comedy club now.
Yeah.
You need to fucking calm down.
I would, as somebody who doesn't even smoke weed, I would just say that it's
ubiquitous with comedy.
It's ridiculous that like anytime I see another comedian smoking weed, I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. The headliners I've worked with at much bigger clubs where it's just like before, after shows, like right before their set. It's just for some of them it's just helpful, and I get it. That's for me. I like to have a drink or two.
Well, these guys are acting like, I know you can't even perform without weed. It's like, well, which is it now? Does weed fuck me up to the point where I can't perform, or does weed the thing I need to perform? Am I fucking, the doctor from the Nick where I have to have cocaine before I operate on someone?
Yeah.
Are you out of your mind?
That would be a terrible idea to do cocaine before operating.
Oh, he needs it to stop shaking.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's a great show.
Oh, all right. I'm going to watch it.
The Nick.
All right. I'm just making sure there's nothing.
But very shortly, in a few minutes, we're going to have a call from Britney Shannon. She worked with Coby. She had a strip club, and she's told me a lot of fucking interesting information. Last night, by the way, Coby, the guy who begged that we talk man-to-man. These guys throw man-to-man and one-on-one, comic-to-comic around a lot, and then they lob insults and personal attacks. Ain't none of that going on over here except when I say idiot or psycho. Just
You're
general.
allowed to be pissed. You're owed $1,200 and you spent a month trying to track it down.
And by the way, how long do you want this to go on? I've been physically threatened. I have it on audio. I have it in text.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a veiled threat. Ain't nobody, especially a judge, going to look at that in a case like this and go, this looks good. Mm-hmm. Are you fucking... How much are you guys going to pound your chest and insist you're right when every fucking thing that comes out, the whole internet points to it and goes, this says you're wrong? Like, what are you standing on still? And he has the audacity to accuse me of pride. He says, here's what's going to happen. You're going to delete everything, take everything down, then I'll pay you what I think is fair, and then I'll also apologize that you didn't get paid on time. No.
You pay
I've already
first.
done all the things I've done to earn the money.
Yeah.
You pay now. There's no more me doing things to get money. I worked. I want my money.
The paying now is to keep this from continuing to go on.
No, don't say that. That's extortion.
No, but this
is a story that will never end. Is whatever happens is getting told.
Right. Oh, whatever happens is getting told. But this is
when I get paid, the story's over.
That's what I'm saying is you get paid so that it's like it ends here, and also it ends at that amount. Like I think at that point, if you're at this point, and maybe actually you're your own president. I got the $200, and when I saw the check, I was like, fuck, I spent 1 weekend down there just to earn this, and then I spent a month fighting to get this,
worrying about it,
and
being
spending time and getting lied to, and I was like, and none of that is in this $200. This was only for my time. So, but I'm like, whatever. I got paid for it, so now I have been paid, but I will always tell this story. I will never not tell the story.
Well, that's what happened, right? They thought that by sending you your check, you were the cheap way to buy you out of this story.
Yeah. I would have needed at least $250.
Yeah. But also, like, do you think James is stupid? Do you think James is thinking, like, well, now we're friends again and I'll be down at the club again working? Like, A, your club ain't going to be around. That place, this isn't a threat or anything like that because of what I'm doing. That club is going under. It's insane how you guys, the left hand has no idea what the right's doing.
Yeah.
Butch is out booking you.
Yeah.
He told me the same thing. Bring any feature I want for $200 for the weekend.
Right.
I didn't bring a feature. Would have brought you had I known you.
Then I could have been owed $400.
Yeah, we could have been not paid in the same weekend. They would have loved it. And by the way, think how fun the tapes would be. But, you know, I go down there, and we're putting the tweets up on the screen. People want to know the Twitter handles. There they are. Butch_Bradley, Coby1023, and Hideaway AC. And, you know, these guys are blocking you if you tweet them a couple times, and that's fine. These guys have no idea how Twitter works.
Yeah.
They think if they block you, it just means you don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Everyone who goes to look at you still sees it. You can't erase the internet.
Yeah.
And by the way, hashtag do AC on all these. But you know,
And thank you.
yeah, yeah, some of this scotch is for you guys out there.
Yeah.
We're pouring one out for the homies tonight. Although we're not pouring one out because it's quite expensive, I imagine.
Yeah, but, you know, it was a gift. It was a gift. It was a gift. Thank you to Coby and Butch for the scotch.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for financing this show
tonight and this bottle of scotch. Because if I didn't bring it, I knew Patrick would start to get the shakes. And I had to.
Yeah, I can't go on.
He just can't go on. He is injecting weed in between his toes. Whenever I'm talking. Right now, I am carrying this show because he is too high.
These are all truthisms.
I can't. He's a weedist.
He's an weedist.
He's an weedist, and I don't like him.
Be very, very quiet.
Yeah,
we're hunting weedists. Ebenezer Scrooge is here. Turn on the air conditioner. Guys, thank you for your tweets. You've been very effective at getting James paid.
Yeah.
We are officially 1/7 of the way there, guys.
Yeah,
can you believe
all
it?
right. There we go.
200 of the 400. We are really
I have a
killing
feeling
it.
by June you're going to be done.
Yeah.
That'll
And
be good.
here's the rest of the weird thing. So like now there's a discrepancy on what I'm even gonna get paid. Butch thinks it's 800. Here's the problem: these guys are so shitty at records. Although Coby, I know you wrote 1,200 up in the corner of that folder. I saw you write it. We also all stood in a room, and I brought them all three together because I knew they weren't talking.
Right.
Butch, it was supposed to be 1,100. They fucked up, but they told me 1,200. This is true. It was supposed to be 1,100. It's supposed to be 800 for the Friday and Saturday, 1 for the
For
Thursday, and 2 for Tuesday.
Yeah. And then they said 30.
But I had already done the package deal for 9, and they added on 3 for Tuesday.
All right.
And this is again Butch, and I have the Texan shit for all the money. And you guys want to continue to argue. Then they're going to say I ran up a tab. I've heard that I have a $180 tab there, which is insane. There was at least one night I didn't drink at all. There were a couple nights Thursday night, I think I had one drink. Here's what happened with the drinks.
Yeah.
You drink every night, every show?
Nonstop. No, I had, I think on Friday I had a couple of drinks. Saturday maybe I had one, but the bartender said I got one free drink for being on the show. So I had the one on Friday. I had like one free one, and I think I bought 2. Maybe I bought 1, 2. I didn't buy a lot. And then
you're a feature. You're getting one free drink
Saturday.
Per show or per night.
I think it was per night.
That's
it was per
so
night.
insane.
And I knew it.
Coby, and by the way, Coby. And again, shame on Butch. He's a comedian.
Yeah.
All this shit that's running in your club, and I get it. Toby's the tight-assed, owner with the money. You're doing it all wrong. Your comedians aren't your customers.
Yeah.
Even if they only get 2 free drinks or whatever, and they're going to get charged after that, they better be $2 and $3 drinks. You guys are out of your minds charging over cost to your comics for drinks.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just shit. I could walk into any improv or funny bone I've ever fucking worked tonight, not even be on the fucking bill, and be given a meal and drinks and not even fucking talk to. And I'd tip the waitress fucking $20 and I'd walk out of there and it wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
It's the culture, and Butch knows that. I'm not your customer. To be presented with $10 shots for your headliner is pretty shit on a weekend where let me tell you something, I'm a human being too. I already feel like shit about the week.
Yeah.
I already feel like a letdown. But you can't, I was set the fuck up. This wasn't going to work out no matter what. I bought $500 in, I'm an idiot. I bought the number of shirts that I normally sell at an improv.
You must have got a lot of shirts.
I'm an idiot. Granted, I should have bought half the shirts, but this is a bill on my credit card, and I'm not worried about the shirts. I'll sell them at my next show.
Right.
But the point is, I have a credit card bill, and that should have been paid off already with the fucking money of this. I ain't got no money. I'm not a rich dude. You know, my apartment costs $3,000 a month. Are you out of your minds? Every fucking penny I scrape together is fucking just not mine anymore. You know, I don't have a shitty life, but I don't have extra money. And I count on the money that I'm told I'm going to be paid when I work, when I buy a ticket to come down on a bus, when I buy cabs, because Butch is too fucking irresponsible to set up transportation for his headliner.
It was everything about it was a clusterfuck when I was there. The one show. So Friday night, the late show. There's like 6 people there, and maybe 4 or 5. So it's the show. Not only are there 4 or 5 people, but it's just running late. Like they're late. There were like 8. They started.
Everybody there feels like it's somebody Butch knows.
Yeah,
like friends.
It started half an hour, 40 minutes late. And then there were a bunch of guest spots ahead, which is okay. Yeah, if you're gonna give people a guest spot.
Let's be honest. Most weeks there's not a feature, and they pad all the shows with their free local comics. They don't pay them. They charge them. And I'm not saying you don't pay them all, but you don't pay most of them. You know you don't. I've watched Butch go to other bars and tell the open micers to buy him drinks for stage time.
Jesus.
I've watched it.
That's fucked up.
Should this ever come out and be told? No. This is like shit that happens. But it's embarrassing shit, dude. It's fucked up.
But on the Friday late show, he's like, all right, do like 15. And I'm like, okay, fine. That's that's kind of what we're talking. And then it was like, all right, do like 10 to 12.
So you can validate this, and the set times there aren't full set times. Because he's on the thing going like, you're a headliner, you're supposed to do an hour.
Oh, no, the headliner was doing half an hour.
Doing 25, 30. I was never told to do more than 30.
Yeah, oh yeah, that was, and the headliner I was there with too was doing like 30. I think Friday late show maybe he did 25-ish or so. I didn't have it timed, but it was 25 tops 30. So because Butch came up to me, he was telling it was 15, and then it was 10 to 12, and then it was like 8 to 10, and then like right as I'm about to go on, it's like 5. And I'm like, okay, I mean, that's fine because it's to 4 people. And it was like, what I was just trying to set it up for the headliner and be like, look, because the headliner had brought me. He's a friend. He's a good guy.
Right.
And I'm like, let me just see if I can set it up. And
I had contacted him first and asked, did you get paid? And he's like, yeah, I was paid that night.
Yeah. Yeah, he was paid.
And I don't know Chris, and I'm sure he's a great guy. And by the way, I've heard nothing but people say you're one of the, if you're not getting paid to perform, no one should get paid to perform. People are saying you're super funny.
Yeah, thanks,
so
man.
just to let people know,
Despite,
so
despite my nonsense so far.
Well, I've never seen you. You know how these things work. Like I'm sure you've only looked at me through a couple. You probably clicked on a couple things.
Well,
and
based on those sets, you're terrible.
Yeah, that's a good point. By the way, I'm going to leave those up. I like them.
Yeah.
I don't care. That's the reality of comedy. And just because most comics don't post that kind of shit, go. And I'm not worried about my reputation. Click through on any of my other videos at a real club.
Right.
You know what I mean? And also, I cut off the end of that. I'm being very nice with my editing. I want everyone to know. People think I'm out to hang Butch. Okay. If it comes down to comparing performances, it's going to be very bad. I got them all. They ain't good.
I'm so glad you recorded all of them. That's the best.
I record every show. I've learned, and also, what I like to put up on YouTube and what I found real success with, and generally get anywhere from 20 to 100,000 views on heckler videos, or crowd work.
Yeah.
And a Also, that way when people come out to one of my shows, I can keep doing my 8-year-old bits. No, but you know what I mean? Like, then somebody comes out and then they haven't seen your stuff.
Right.
But for all the people watching those videos and thinking, like, well, somebody on Reddit, by the way, these are on Reddit Cringe, and they're taking off the videos. But
They don't have the patience to see just how cringeworthy it is.
But, you know, one person, most of the people are on my side. One person was like, this guy doesn't deserve to get paid. He didn't tell a single joke. It's like, well, Butch's whole advertising campaign is like, this guy makes up material on the spot. By the way, I've watched Hideaway AC tweet and Facebook, the only guy who can make up a new act every night. It's like, oh, wow. Sure, Ian Bagg would love to hear that. Or Harlan Williams. Or fucking Robin Williams.
Yeah.
You know, Robin Williams can stitch together another person's act in a single night.
Not as much anymore.
He's still pretty good.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I mean, there's a lot of shit that's come out. But what it boils down to right now is, there's only one side that's lying now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's absolutely damaging shit you're saying to me, and it's not true, and you can't prove it. And Coby, I'd watch what you fucking say because you don't know what happened all weekend, and you're being lied to. He's finding out. He's like, oh, I see now why the radio was missed. I think he's probably watched a couple of these videos and gone like, yeah, man.
Now you're in a
yeah,
corner.
man. Maybe you should fucking come by the club you own. You weren't there all week.
Or as soon as this shit starts happening, let's just say I'm in his situation.
And by the way, he hated me, so I understand it. I
Yeah.
understand why he wasn't there all week. He hated me.
But if this shit's happening, if somebody like Butch is my business partner and is telling me over and over, no, this is what happened, and then it comes out that he's been lying about a lot of shit to a lot of people, then I have a moment where I go, hey, all right, look, here's my situation. This is what I was told, and if it's not true, I want to work this out with you, and let's figure this out. But this is what I've told. This was my situation. And instead of doing that, for some reason, he's still just defending Butch and acting like it is the gospel truth, when I have not trusted Butch for the last 3 weeks. Like, after a week, I was like, all right, this is getting to be total horse shit. And it will not stop. And it's like, I remember he asked for my bank account. I was like, I don't trust you with anything. I'm not giving you my
problem.
bank information to deposit the money.
At this
Send
point-
me a fucking check.
At this point, I don't feel comfortable sending you my bank account. And also, they keep going like, well, if I could read your fucking stoner chicken scratch scrawling on this. And it's like, oh, cool. By the way,
There's
I
no
love
way
the
you have worse
petty-
handwriting than I do.
I love the petty insults. No, here's the fact. I just have shitty handwriting.
Yeah.
Like, it's just what it is. Nobody handwrites anymore, old man. Like, I'm not shitting you, Coby. Like, stop talking. It ain't going well. I'm not some fucking stoner fuck. I brought you guys marketing ideas. I told you guys that I needed tickets or flyers to hand out to the businesses I was talking to during the day. I wasn't in bed jerking off most of the time. You're just out
If
of
he
your
had said
mind. I told
that
you about a
about me, I
shuttle.
would-
I told you about a super funny shuttle driver that drives by your fucking place every hour on the way to the hotel down the street from my hotel. I told you about this guy. I said he's funny and he points out businesses in Atlantic City, and everyone loves him. And he doesn't mention anything about your strip club or the comedy club. He doesn't say a thing on the street. So I got his card. I brought it to Coby. Does this sound like some fucking stoner fuck-off comic? I have an MBA, you sack of shit.
Just make you go, hey man, I got this card and I just
like,
I was
you
gonna
got-
give
no,
it to
you
you, but I
blew me-
used it to roll a
You
doobie.
blew me off. Butch came to you and told you that I was some piece of shit troublemaker that was causing trouble, being drunk at shows. You assumed that was what was right because on Thursday night, I had 4 Macallans. Now, here's what happens at a normal club. You're told a drink policy when you get there. Mm-hmm. You're told a meal policy when you get there.
Yeah.
Or, believe it or not, you're provided all that information ahead of time.
What?
In an email or a text with communication.
Wait a second. What kind of crazy clubs are you working where they communicate with you and have?
So I had 4 Macallans because it was very light. It was 15 people, and Butch was freaking out. I started freaking out. I had 4 shots of Macallan. I'm not drinking beers. Haven't had a beer in 4 months. Lost 51 pounds. I'm on a low carb, no sugar thing. Thank you. Very sexy getting my dad bod back.
Yeah.
We're going to pause this story and take a phone call. I think you guys are going to be very interested in this one. On the phone right now, ladies and gentlemen, Britney Shannon. What's up, Britney?
Hey, how are you guys?
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm glad you could call in.
Hey, how's it going, Britney?
No problem.
Now,
Good.
we're really behind tonight because this story is so detailed and complicated. But I'm really glad you got a hold of me yesterday, and you've kind of provided a lot of insight into what I'm dealing with here.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're dealing with.
Now, so well, I guess I'll just let you kind of talk and tell your story.
Yeah, I was actually part of a business relationship with him. I know what you're going through with the defamation of character stuff and him trying to hurt your career, because the same thing was also done with me. I happen to be a little more fortunate because I came out of it okay. You know, the things that he was saying about me, you know, I was a drug addict. I was a drunk. I was unprofessional.
Yeah, this is the same thing. This is the same thing he's doing to me, like going around telling people I'm a weed head. Like, he doesn't even know what weed. Like, yeah, who cares? I smoke weed. I'm a comedian.
Yeah. I mean, he had a lot to say about me. Like, he was really upset with me, and you know, I feel bad for the guy because he thinks he's something that he's not. He thinks he's a celebrity. He thinks he knows all of these big, powerful people. And when it comes down to it, because I'm still very involved in Atlantic City. When it comes down to it, like, people think he's a joke, and I feel bad for him on a certain level. Like, are you that naive? You don't know what's going on around you? They all think he's a joke. This is him and the reason I haven't spoken out is because my attorney was like, he wants attention. Let's not give it to him. He's like, we already got the guy by the balls. He's like, let him do more to you. Let him keep contacting you. Let him keep talking about you, and then we'll go after him. I already could act on this legally. I'm just not right now because, honestly, I just wanted to, like, let it go. But then, like, you know, you came with your story, and I was like, wow, he's doing this to other people. And I know he's done it to other people in the past. I've had other people in Atlantic City come up to me and be like, what he did to you, he did to me. You know, they just don't want to speak out publicly about it. But being a public figure, which I am, I feel like now that I know he's doing it to you, I feel really bad for you guys that it's time to say something about it.
So you mean not getting paid?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, a lot of people, he owes a lot of people money. He owes radio stations money. I mean, he just ripped off a lot of people that have worked for him and then would fire them and be like, you're banned from my building. That's how you solve not paying somebody? You're banned from my building? Like, it's just very unprofessional, you know, and obviously the club isn't doing well. I know we've lost a lot of employees.
I don't know how the strip club's doing well. Like, seriously, it was dead. We walked over there one night after the show just to, like, pop our heads in, and the strippers are all just at the bar texting, and there's literally 0 customers.
Wow. See, when I was there, it wasn't like that. I heard after I left, it declined quickly.
Yep.
When did you leave?
For him. I really feel bad for him. You know, like, he had another club, AC Dolls. I mean, I know what happened there. I'm not going to say it on the radio. I know why that ended, and he started this new business venture over there on New York Avenue. But, you know, I'm just starting to feel really bad for him. Like, you got to do this to people. It's terrible. What are you doing to you guys? It's horrible.
Well, when did you leave?
June.
Oh, yeah. So it hasn't been that long, and it's obviously this is just part of his behavior. And this is, I was texting with Patrick about this earlier. It's like the craziest thing, at least for me, I dealt mostly with Butch, but the thing with Butch was that it's like, I think he really thinks he's this hotshot comedian who's somehow like a power player in the game.
Who, Butch?
Yeah, Butch. And like, I think
oh my God,
I think he really believes it.
Listen, you know who I am. I know a lot of people in Las Vegas. I know a lot of comedians. I know people that own the casinos in Las Vegas. Not a lot of people have heard of Butch.
Yeah. I had no idea who he was.
Everybody I talked to was like, who's that?
Yeah, I did.
And this is Vegas.
I was doing comedy in Philly for like 6 years, and I've been in New York for the last year and a half, and nobody that I know has ever heard of him.
No, and I spoke with my good friend, Reverend Bob Levy. He was on the Howard Stern show. He's a comedian. He has his own radio show.
Yeah.
And he actually heard about this situation before I talked to him. Like, you guys got it out there really good. Because I was talking to Bob, and Bob was like, I actually heard about this.
Wow.
He's like, this is a really shitty situation. And he's like, wait, that guy is the guy, your ex-business partner that was saying all that terrible stuff about you? And I'm like, that's him, Bob, same guy. Yeah.
Wow.
So, I mean, there's a lot of big names that are looking at this now, and not even because I'm talking shit. I'm not. They're like, oh, my God, that's your ex-business partner. And I'm like, now I'm embarrassed. It's embarrassing.
What's insane is that, you know, Coby keeps texting me. I didn't want any of this to, you know, I talked to Coby like a real human the other night, man to man. First of all, I texted him and said, you're texting someone else very personal stuff. Oh, she's gone. She fell off. Hopefully she'll call back. Coby texted me the other night that, where did she go? Oh, the Skype just shit out.
Oh, who has Skype problems? Not me. Yeah. Last week. Sorry about that.
No worries. He texted me that, oh, you know, this better stay between us. Don't post these screenshots. And by the way, I know that you guys think I'm just out there posting screenshots that I want to share our communications. That ain't the case. I've posted proof that you owe me money because you said you don't. I posted things that will help refute the things you're saying about me, such as she tried to call back in. No, I missed it. Things that will refute the things you're saying about me, you know, such as that I was trashed on stage, couldn't stand, and all that kind of stuff people are saying. I'll put the videos up. I'm not super proud of the comedy performances. Given the circumstances, fine. You know, I'm not lying about anything that I'm saying, about anything. But then last night, Coby accidentally texted me a screenshot of our conversation. Not even like a significant portion.
Which means he's screenshotting the whole
Yeah,
thing.
well, I'm sure he was in like some rhythm of like We talked a lot, and I'm sure he was going down screenshotting the whole conversation in some rhythm of like screenshot, go out, go into the conversation to whoever he was sending it to, paste.
Yeah.
And he screenshotted and then went down in that conversation, and you know your finger rhythm got fucked up.
I did that one time to Ron. I was Facebook messaging. I was trying to.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Phone amateurs.
Yeah. No, but I was trying to just very quickly Facebook message you something that was going on. And it was actually being very complimentary of Ron, so I was happy. I was like, Ron seems to be the guy who's got his shit together, and this is what he's saying right now, and he's been really he's been good with me.
Should I try to call her back? Is that?
Yeah, give her. Yeah, see. It
was very weird.
Get her back. Something happened. The internet. Oh, Butch's hackers. Butch and Coby, they're hackers. They're
DDoSed hard.
They're going after us.
Oh, hold on. She texted here. Oh, hold on. Fuck. What happened?
Oh, no.
Oh, she's saying hold on. She's trying to get back into.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Yeah, that was very weird and unfortunate. Sorry about that, guys. Again, this ain't a professional show. Never claimed to be.
Well, this is... I guess I'm leaving.
You're leaving? You're not...
Hello.
Sorry about that, Britney. We dropped you.
That's okay.
But anyway, I'm really appreciative of your help. Thank you for helping us out tonight, and also for
You're very welcome.
talking to the people in comedy that you're helping. But I don't know. So with your lawyer or your situation or whatever, are you kind of just stalled now? Are you not going to do anything else? Or
No, basically what my lawyer was said, like, I have a very good case, but he was like, this is too good to be true. Like, let it sit, and let's see if he does anything else. Like, I was going to let it go. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want his money. I don't want to mess with him. Just, like, go away, you know? So basically my lawyer was like, if he continues to talk about you, and it's defamation of character, if he continues to do this or threaten you with, like, lawsuits or anything in any other way, because he has no legal ground to stand on. He initially wanted to sue me for my name, but there happened to be, like, some coercion there with contracts and stuff, and my name is trademarked. I own the trademark to Britney Shannon. I own it to my clothing line, and I trademarked it out of the ass. I own every which angle that you could possibly use Britney Shannon. I own that. So even if you tried to sue me, I've owned it for years. You can't.
Yeah.
He was unaware of the fact that I owned it, but, I mean, he has no legal ground to stand on, and I basically just wanted him to stop, and if he stops, if he harasses me just because I went on the show and talked to you guys, and, wants to send me another letter from the lawyer, then I'm going to take action. It's not only him who's going to be in trouble. It's going to be a big thing in Atlantic City, so that will be the last thing that he wants to do.
And again, and I told him, I have no interest in, I'm not trying to fuck anybody's life over. I'm owed $1,200.
Yeah.
Do you know how embarrassing it is to have to grovel for $1,200? And by the way, I shouldn't have to. And whatever your argument is, that I'm a stoner, that I'm, drunk, which none of it's true, and I have video evidence to the contrary. Whatever you whatever you want to argue, are they bad shows with no audience? Sure, but I'm not drunk. And if you want to, put me up next to Butch was drunker than I was all weekend.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't been drinking a lot. I've been on a no carb thing. So it's fucking false as shit. And
well, that's his go-to. Every time he doesn't want to pay somebody or something's not working out in his favor, they're on drugs. They're this, they're that. That's what he does to people. And you can't do that to people that are public figures and out there, in the worlds that we're in, because it's basically the same world, whether it be because I come from Howard Stern. I was in Howard TV. I still have friends on Howard Stern. Bob Levy's one of them. You can't do that to people that have names. I don't think he understands that. He's used to dealing with people that don't.
I don't have a name, and he knows that, and I don't have any power behind me or clout behind me. What he didn't know is that I have one of the first comedy podcasts ever. I've been doing this since 2005. I have a 10-year fan base built up, and they're not going to sit there and not fucking say something when I tell this very true story about my life.
Yeah, and you know what? When I saw the website, because I was just on Twitter and somebody sent it to me and I clicked on it and I was like, oh my God, this is too good to be true right now. This is really happening. And I kept reading and I'm like, that's exactly what he did to me. I have to talk to this guy. And I think I followed on Facebook and he wrote me back and he was like, didn't you have a falling out with Coby? And I was like, as a matter of fact, I did.
Yeah. Well, I'm stoked and we'll keep in touch and definitely, from here on out, communicate, and again, I'm not trying to fuck anybody over. I'm like you. I want to fucking move on, but it's embarrassing. And again, I'm a no-name comic. Maybe they thought it didn't matter, but you don't get to do that. You don't get to go, we hired a comic. We told him we'd pay him this. We didn't like the way, even if you didn't like me or like the way I perform, you don't get that's not a judgment. We don't get to negotiate.
No.
You said
Listen, I
you
feature
hired
dance
me.
all over the country. That would be the same thing as a club refusing to pay me.
Yeah.
And that goes to back me up also. If I was a drunken druggie, I'm on feature tour right now. Ever since I left that place, I've been on feature tour and shooting my films. I'm on tour all the time. I'm doing a 3-week tour through Texas and Michigan. Come on, people wouldn't hire me and continue to hire me through my agent if I was an unprofessional drunken druggie.
You know what the worst part is, Brittany? He didn't even let me keep my tips.
Oh, you heard that story? How I was made to feature dance at a club with my name on it, and I was doing VIP rooms for over $1,000, and that man kept all of the money, and then I was told, don't worry, you keep your tips. Are you out of your goddamn mind? I'm a future entertainer and a famous adult film star. I can keep my tips. You can shove them up your ass.
Hashtag do AC. Am I right, everybody?
Actually, I'm still featuring an AC. I made a deal with Stiletto, which is 2 blocks away. It's on South Carolina Avenue.
Nice.
It's 85 South 185 South Carolina Avenue. I actually made a deal with them where when I'm not traveling a certain amount of days in a month, I will feature dance there and promote for them. I'm actually on their website. And that's been great so far. So if I'm so bad, why would Stiletto do that? And I've been doing this since August with them. We're in December right now. If I was that bad, do you think I'd still be there?
Yeah, I don't even know what you'd have to do as a stripper to get fired. Some kind of first-degree pussy burns or something.
I'm
a dancer. I'm sorry, a dancer.
Yeah,
it's funny because he basically, hopefully what we can do is what he tried to do to Patrick. So not the defamation stuff, but I'm saying he paid me the $200 that I was owed, which is, nothing. But he paid me with the hopes that then I would shut up and not keep backing Patrick and not be a part of this. But what he's trying to do to Patrick is just sort of isolate him and have him be on his own. But if we can show that it's actually, we need to isolate this club and isolate them and show them, no, they're the ones that are the problem. It's not, it's really, he's been trying to just sort of lean on people and make it so just, oh no, just that one person who I have a problem with.
And I know this for a fact, Butch has nothing to do with money or checks coming out of that building. I can guarantee you.
I believe that. However,
I know for a fact.
I believe that. However, Butch is telling people that they'll get paid X for doing X, and he doesn't have.
He's trying to save face for himself.
Yeah, but he doesn't. He doesn't have the authority to do that, and then he doesn't tell Coby that he said that. So then the other person's left going, "Where's the money?" And Butch is going, "Oh, it's on the way, or I'm working on it." But Coby,
how do you know he didn't tell Coby that? That's what I'm saying.
Well, Coby's saying,
I know how this works.
Coby said he's
Coby
never.
Coby says a lot of things that aren't true.
Yeah, but Coby said he's never even heard of James. So, James is a comedian who worked in his club 3 weeks ago, and Coby said, "I've never even heard of you."
Yeah.
Did you not meet him?
No, he wasn't there that weekend.
He wasn't there the weekend before either. Weird.
But trust me, he knows who's at his club.
Yeah. But it's clear
Butch
that
is definitely lying to everybody.
Yeah,
too.
Butch is lying to everybody because anytime I talked with him, it would be stuff where he would say one thing and then he would say something that would completely contradict what he just said. And I'm like, well I have a text message.
Through the Atlantic City grapevine, I hear the two of them are arguing a lot.
No, they hate each other.
Yeah.
Butch isn't. Yeah, Butch doesn't mix any feelings about that. They don't talk. They're not friends, and that's the problem. That's the problem. I mean, you can't own a business together and not communicate. And they both.
Butch doesn't own anything. Butch probably has 10% of Coby's business, which, I mean, Coby. Yeah, Butch probably just. Okay, so in reality, Coby owns everything.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But Butch is the one that was, he was the one who, the reason that I have it out for Butch is that he openly told me he was dealing with it and that I was his contact. And anytime I tried to talk to anybody else there, or anybody else, period, just like other comics, be like, hey, is this normal? What's happening? If he would find out that I was talking to other people, he would lose his shit. And be like, no, don't talk to anybody. I'm handling it. And then it was like, no, this is Coby's fault. So it's like, go fuck yourself, buddy. Like, this is...
Wow, it sounds like there's a mess over there, huh, guys?
Yeah, it is a mess. Brittany, I know we got to let you go. You got your feature dancing tonight, and I appreciate that. And please, by the way, please don't take any offense to me saying I don't know the nomenclature, and I didn't mean anything by that when I said stripper. But I really,
okay, I'm not offended.
I really appreciate you getting involved with this and helping us out, and seriously sticking up for comedians in general. And I'm glad that you're involved and intertwined in the comedy world.
I have a lot of friends that are comedians, and they understand. They've been there a long time ago. They get it.
Well, thanks. It is really helpful.
I appreciate it,
welcome.
Brittany. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, there you
she's
go.
Awesome.
Yeah, great.
She's the most
Way
awesome
to feel
person.
Stupid
too.
when I call her a stripper and they don't like that.
Yeah.
What is the? I don't. And by the way, and I really don't mean anything by it. That's not a thing. Well, I guess she's like.
Yeah, she's like
a tier above.
Yeah.
In another strata.
Yeah.
So I, stuck my foot in my mouth there.
I think it's
I hope
probably
they
like
don't really take offense to that.
I think it's like one of the. I bet it was the kind of thing like when we have to go home for Christmas and so like, so how's your? What do you do like with your improv? One of your little skits? Can I hear one of your little skits?
Feature dancer.
I am a yeah. Oh man, if she has to put up with that going, if she has to go home and hear like, so can I see one of your little dances?
I think she lives in Atlanta. Isn't she from Atlantic City?
Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah. But I'm just saying like the if she has to put up with the same shit comedians do about like nomenclature.
I honestly don't know what to make of that. She makes it out like Coby's the worst guy and not to be trusted either. And honestly, the impression I had at least 2 days ago was Coby and I were talking and we were going to work. He said to me, tomorrow I'll call you. We'll work out an amicable solution to this. He told me he was booked. He told me he missed his flight. He was in Florida. He'll call me first thing this morning. And then he accidentally sent me the screenshot. And I just waited to see what he would say, and he didn't say anything. And then nothing today. So 2 days in a row he said he'd call. He didn't. He's not trying to work it out. He's told other people since then that he's refusing to pay me.
Yeah. He texted me when he was saying that I was getting
That
paid.
not
he said
paying
that
me
he's
was intentional.
Yeah, not paying you is intentional. I was like, what the fuck?
So this has gone back and forth, to like, I've cut a check. I've cut 2 checks. Butch saying you cut 3 checks. I don't know if you're aware of that. Butch said you cut 3 checks. Then Butch said you were going to do a deposit. Then you said not paying him was intentional. Then I'm told that I have a room service bill at a hotel that doesn't have room service, that I ate at the restaurant of and paid with my credit card and have on my credit card. Like, I haven't even gone to check it because I don't need to because I paid it on my credit card.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know where you think this is going to take a turn for you. Nothing I'm saying is false.
Did you see that 30 for 30 on the Islanders owner that was...
I don't watch anything under 47.
But it was a 30 for 30 on that Islanders owner who, like... he bought the team and was like saved them from being moved or whatever, and they were. But it turns out that he was like worth like $500,000, and even when he said he was worth $100 million, and it was he just had these series of sort of fraudulent businesses and papers and things that where he just kept making it look like it was okay, and it was like, oh no, this is just a little problem.
Yeah, House of Cards.
Yeah, exactly. So this House of Cards, and he bought the team. He had the team. They had signed the paperwork for him, and he was just all he had to do was put down like a $5 million deposit. Except that was like 10 times what he actually had. But he kept having these little things where he could send chunks of it, or he was putting together little loans from other places. And they interviewed him, and he's crazy enough to think he almost pulled it off. That if he had gotten that deposit down, everything would have been fine, and he wouldn't have had to pay the other like $80 million or whatever it was. And this feels like that same thing where eventually you have 1,000 lies out there, and 2 or 3 of them become public. Then everybody else starts looking at you and going, "Wait a second, this is all horse shit," and it falls apart very quickly. And I'm wondering if that's what we're watching right now.
And as I was saying before. I really, like, if there's anything in this, I want people to know that, like, the one thing I didn't want to do is, like, hurt Butch as a comic or anything like that, because none of that. Butch has had this club since August. Mm-hmm. This club is a blip on the timeline of his comedic life and whatever. Don't get me wrong. Both of these people are not responsible people. Mm-hmm. They didn't communicate about their business. They didn't communicate to me the truth. Either one of them. Yeah. If Coby had a problem with me having 4 shots of scotch night 1, he should have come to me like a business owner and go, usually we give our headliners 2 drinks a night. I know you had 4 tonight. Don't worry about it. Take the 4. I wasn't sloppy and drunk on stage. You had one problem Tuesday night, that first night. It was Brad Trackman. You had one problem, and you had to fucking run circles around apologizing for him. That's the truth. That's the truth. I wasn't a conversation about that show. And yet you had him back headlining 2 weeks later. You know what I mean? You had that motherfucker headlining back 2 weeks later. So something's not right.
Get into it, but
I'm not involving you. I'm talking about my experience. Yeah. The night I was there, they had a big issue with this comic. Mm-hmm. He made an audience member cry. He essentially called her fat and ugly. Pull up the tape.
Jesus.
I mean, dude, I wasn't fucking trashed. I wasn't unprofessional. There's a reason I'm accounting all this right now.
Yeah. That's what I posted in your group about how, like, whenever I've been writing posts, like updating things from my end, I read them and I'm like, I sound like a fucking dork. But then I realize I work in mental health, and so I have to, like, my notes at any point, if anybody decides, like, hey, this is going to court, and this has been throughout my entire career.
Sure.
It's like, even if everything's going fine, and 5 years later something happens, then they'll be like, well, what was happening 5 years ago?
They dig up anything.
Well, yeah, but I mean, just anything that's going on in my job. So I figured I'm going to write my updates like they are my notes at work, where I'm like, I'm just going to get all the facts out so I can go on the record saying, this is what happened. This is what I was told. This is how I responded. This is the day it happened. This is when it happened.
Sure.
So now it's all out there, and I can just copy and paste and send that to small claims court, or to a lawyer, or to my boss, or whoever, and say, this is what happened.
Well, all I've maintained, this is kind of a fun version of that. I'm just telling. Like, I'm not ever going to lie about what happened. And if I don't quite remember something, I'll try to be clear about it. I don't know if I can.
Yeah.
But, first of all, human memory is super fallible.
Oh, yeah.
You can look up any study on this you want. We're all idiots. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can literally watch a crime happen right in front of you and 2 minutes later not know what color the guy's hat was.
Yeah.
It's just the way the brain works. Short term, long term. And Coby, I'd argue both of you guys are acting like children here. The adult film actress and the stoner comedian are running circles around you when it comes to professionalism. I don't understand all the chest pounding.
That's why
I've been threatened. I've been told, I'll be very disinclined to work with you in the future if any more things come out. It's like, no, you've already attacked my character, my professionalism, saying I was trashed on stage. I'm putting up the videos that show I'm not.
Yeah.
And any fucking other casualties now because you've demanded that and decided to spread that lie about me, that's your own fucking fault. You want to see the tapes? Let's see the fucking tapes.
Yeah.
The club ain't being run well, man. It ain't being run well. It's not going good. And Butch is a funny, fun dude, but loose cannon. Kind of a loose cannon.
Yeah, and we've both been to other shitty clubs that aren't run well, but you get paid, and you say, and if somebody asks you how it was, you just say, it was kind of a weird week. The light crowds, or this thing was happening, or they want you to pay for your drinks.
He's told me he's coming after me because I bought CobyFrier.com. He's just like, I'm going to sue you against your future earnings. You know what? Go ahead. Hope it makes you feel like a big man. You have a family and shit. Like, hope that feels good, stupid. And do it. I hope you do it, dork. Fucking do it. I'm not getting a lawyer. I can't afford one. You can have all my cameras and the rest of this scotch. Come fucking get it, dummy. Get your stupid fucking lawyer. Fucking text me or send me a fucking check. Like, stop being a fucking baby. And Butch, I'm sorry. Because you babbled in my fucking ear all weekend about being friends. You lied to me from day one. And you can be mad at everybody all you want. And you can be mad at me. And you can send your fucking cousin to beat me up, as you said. Alluded that you were going to do. You were going to have everybody from New York to fucking Jersey come get me. Then do it. Be the guy that sent someone to beat up a comic over $1,200 because of your lies. Dorks. I'm serious. I can't wait for the fucking book deal I'm going to get.
I want to make that...
Like, you guys are out of your fucking minds. I've never seen a company kick like babies so much over nothing. You're wrong. You're in the wrong. Coby, it wasn't all your fault. Butch, it wasn't all your fault. You're both in the fucking wrong. And if you would have talked, this would all be fucking done. And I hope this can get resolved without the court. But I'm fucking willing to go. And you can have all my Beanie Babies. I don't have any Beanie Babies.
I was going to say, can I make that, can you send me an audio of that? Because I want to make that rant my ringtone. Like, just every time somebody calls, like,
yeah,
fuck you, you fucking dorks.
I want to make my background, sleep, 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 wake, wake, up, on way, on way.
Oh, that was the one that I had friends texting me when over that one, the radio wake up call where he was like, go to sleep, wake up, no, sleep, 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 no, you're good. I mean, we're coming, I'm here. No, I've never been there. I don't know who you are. If anybody asked, you were MIA. Like, that was,
yeah,
that was, oh my God.
I didn't post the funniest line from that text. By the way, my new one is coward, 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 call me, bad karma kid, coward, coward, see you soon, kid, coward, coward, Pat, please pick up, there's a piece you might want to know.
He was calling me. I think it was.
Is it about me being Coby's favorite again?
He was calling me. So on Saturday, after all of this finally went out, when you had done your show on Friday, was it? Were you talking about
Saturday night?
Okay, so I'm getting stuff for some reason, or maybe it was like you had mentioned it, and on Saturday, for some reason it was out on Saturday.
Night.
Oh, then during the day, then I don't know what this was. So Saturday he starts texting me saying he's sending me everything out of his pocket right now.
Well, yeah, he sent me that the week before too. And it's, by the way, that's the sign of a liquid business.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you everything out of my bank account. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I love the guilt trip. Does that come with the pay stub?
Right. So then he's like, I'll put it in. I'll mail it on Monday. And he's just basically he's saying, I just want to put this behind us. And I'm like, all right, look, I even checked in the text messages that because he started saying like, I never lied to you, I haven't done anything wrong. And so in my text messages, I went back. I was like, you have told me 7 times that the money was coming or the check had been
and
cut.
Coby has never heard of you.
Right. And then on
Okay.
Monday, I get a message saying Coby's never heard of me. And so I'm like, so forgive me for being pessimistic. I don't think this is coming. So that was all on Saturday. I'm like, I'm really done fucking talking to you.
Do you understand, Coby? Like, honestly, the fundamental, it doesn't matter that you never heard of him. You're responsible. It's your business.
And then
Like,
yeah.
the breakdown here is insane. It's insane. And all that's happened, by the way, since it's come public, is you guys have spun yourself a web of jackassery. Is the only way I can put it. You know, if Charlotte was in your room while you sleep at night, the web she would read, the web she would weave. It's great when you flub it.
Yeah.
The web she would weave would read, some pig. Would have been better if it was fluid. We'll edit it later in post. Don't worry.
Yeah,
this will all be seamless.
It'll be
Cobes.
perfect. This is going to be a 10-minute podcast.
By the way, we're calling him Bitch Bradley and Coby Liar. BitchBradley.com.
So now this timeline makes sense because on Sunday, I wake up to a text from, it's like 11 in the morning. They said, you have my word. It goes out in the morning. So please, if you are, stop bashing me. And then I just want to, I'm not bashing you. I have nothing to do with anything except I'm just asking to get paid. Somebody asked my story. I told it. That's it.
Can I ask you from your perspective what it was like to be contacted me? And then I kind of told you my story. And then I kind of told you, well, I'm going to give them. And by the way, didn't I say, like, I'm hoping we don't have to do this? I'm hoping.
Oh yeah, this is the first week or two when you and I were talking. There's a record of that. There's a record of that too, of us
going like, how do we get them to answer?
Yeah, I didn't have your number until like a week or two ago. When then we finally were like, all right, we should probably. And I have texts.
Well, I said like I don't know what Butch is thinking, but I'm not some little bitch who's gonna just go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, just coming. So
I owe the IRS thousands. Get in line, Coby.
So he started he wanted to talk to me and like can you call me? And I was just like, no. I'm like, I literally have zero interest in talking to you over the phone
because it was gonna be I'm a comic. I'm just trying to.
And what you were talking about with memory, I'm like, I don't want anything to be disputed. I want it all 100% on the record.
At that point, when I knew it was becoming a thing.
Yeah. And it's like, I'm like, I will not talk to him outside of text. I have zero interest in it.
Yeah.
So he's saying, give me 5 seconds. I'm like, nope, not doing it. My mom was in town. I was going to spend the day with her and then he kept demanding that I talk to him. I was like, no, go fuck yourself. Like, I didn't even say go fuck yourself. I just reasoned and explained like why I'm not talking to him.
So I have two instances at least now of Coby saying, I refuse to pay Patrick. It's intentional that I'm not paying Patrick. And then we have Butch. This is Butch's side of that story.
Okay, I'm going to tell you what I was told, that you were mailed 2 checks. Okay? I was told you...
By the way, this isn't to fuck over Butch, but I'm going to let everyone fucking know what's being done to me. Not only physical threats against my career, lies.
And you just listening to this, because I listened to this like right before we went on air, and listening to this...
Mania.
It's exactly how I imagined he was texting me, but sometimes when somebody's texting you angrily, you make it worse in your own head, right? But then you hear them talk and this time you're like, no, it's exactly how I pictured it. This is exactly the kind of just crazy back and forth.
All this is on PM and the AM on the Overdose. He called in the middle of a show. New York.
What time was this, by the way?
11 a.m.-ish.
Okay, because then I'll follow it up with what happened at 1 o'clock over
On Monday?
On Monday when he was texting me.
I finally get a text from Butch. If you're out talking shit about me, please stop. Well, I was in talking shit. So that didn't apply to me. And he called, and this is what he said about the checks, what he told me Coby said.
Were mailed 2 checks, and that those checks were not received by you. At the next stage, I was told that it was being deposited. Coby's got money. He's not paying you. I think, honestly, it was poor business practice that you weren't paid quickly, and I apologize for that. That's about it.
There you go. I have a million things of him going, it's our fault. You're absolutely right. We're shit. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah, but not that far from the from what he just said.
No, yeah, that's real. So then, by the way, threats. Let's be friends. Let's talk like men. Threats. Are you recording this? Threats. Like, it's just all over the place. I'm like, hold on, are we friends right at this second? Or you heard it. Every 12 seconds, just switching moods.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We've all gotten angry and lost our shit, but never like this.
Frequently.
Yeah.
I do it all the time.
Yeah. But you lose your shit and you calm down or you lose it again. But it's like both. He's doing both at the exact same time.
So then I get this. This is a threat on my career. You ready for this?
Oh boy.
And wait till you hear the full story behind this. This is insanity. And by the way, I have never attacked Butch's professionalism or, again, Butch the comedian. The only reason Butch is responsible and part of this conversation is because he's a business owner. The only reason.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be like attacking the headliner I worked with for the week for my check.
Right. The guy I worked with.
It's nothing to do with that.
I'm not saying his name only because I don't want to have to worry about. I told him that I was going to be working with you on this and that this stuff was coming out. And I was like, look, I just want to give you a heads up. Here's the situation. Because he is a great guy. And he's like, he could not be more innocent and is the friendliest and nicest person.
You are fucking dreaming.
Oh, no.
That is the worst thing to fall asleep to.
You are fucking dreaming.
just play that in somebody's headphones as they sleep. You
are fucking dreaming.
Don't forget to pick up your copy of the Butch soundboard.
Oh, man.
Sound Butch. You're listening to the Butcher Block here on WPM in the AM.
We'll be right back with Butch and the Bitch.
No, this is serious. This is what he fucking says to me. This is his big threat when he calls me. And by the way, this isn't... I'm not some fucking pussy who's gonna back down from this. Coby was like, you better, we'll talk, but the least I see posted, the better. It's like, motherfucker, this story's out, this genie's out of the bottle. I can't shove it back in. This has happened now.
And you got warning.
And it's not my fault. Butch,
tons of warning.
Yeah, and I left a message for you, Coby, and text, and you didn't answer for over 2 weeks. I mean, honestly, dude, you guys can be mad at everybody you want to be mad at. And by the way, send all your goons up here with fucking pipe irons. Is that a thing? Mm-hmm. To beat me up with, and beat it out of me. I hope that's good. And this is the other threat I got. You ready for this shit? You ready for this fucking bomb?
You know what? Guess what? You record this because I already put a fucking call in to
I'm recording
a monster place that I'm going to tell the story on. So it's going to be awesome. Because I want you to...
I put a call into a monster place I'm going to tell the story on. It's going to be awesome. Hold on.
Literally a monster place.
Hold on.
You know something. I'm your fucking friend. We all fucked up.
This is... Friend like this?
And you are hurting comedy right now.
I'm hurting comedy.
Come on, Patrick. You're hurting comedy.
Yeah. That's been the consensus around the net.
You're hurting it. That's what my friends
all you
texted
comics,
me.
By the way, all you comics sticking up for this guy and being like, he's... And I get that I understand that fucking Jimmy Schubert got paid.
Mm-hmm.
I know Jimmy. I'm not fucking contesting that.
Right.
I know fucking all the big comics that come through got paid. I'm not the only one. We know other local comics who have had payment problems. Not going to throw local comics under the bus. It's the only shithole they have to go perform in. But I'm telling you, short-sighted ones who don't see what's going on there, you're hurting yourself.
And that's what I've tried to explain to the local comics that I've talked to. Is I've said that, look, this isn't how comedy works. This isn't.
You guys are living in some weird bubble.
They have convinced you that this is how comedy works, and I can just say that it's just not true. And it sucks that they have you by the balls because there's no other place to go in Atlantic City, which is what even in Philly, people would come down and say, hey, you're doing okay here? Well, whatever. It doesn't really matter down here. You have to go somewhere that matters. And I'm glad I got my chops in Philly, and I felt good about that. But you have to get out of there. There's nothing that's going to come out of Atlantic City where you're going to go from being in Atlantic City to being a star somewhere or even a writer somewhere. Like you have to get out. You have to. It's the only option.
Yeah.
If you want to do comedy. If you don't, it's okay. Do your thing.
Coby, we're coming to your club. What if that was real?
You're fucking dreaming.
Yeah.
That was more terrifying than
It's ominous.
yeah, that was.
Anyway, I don't know why I did that. That was just silly.
It was perfect.
Let's continue this.
Yeah.
He's putting in a call in. I'm going to hear on he's got a major call in.
Because everyone was paid but you, and I'm sorry, and I'm trying to...
That's just not true. That's just not true. And more people besides James, local comics who have... I know Butch. He's telling comics, come in and host. We'll give you $50. And then he doesn't get told to Coby, and then there's no $50.
Yeah.
It's what happens. I guarantee it.
Yeah. And they are all the opening acts for they do the first 40 minutes for
And by the
free.
way, I don't care how good you are at crowd work. You get tired of Butch. You do.
Yeah.
And this is not an insult to Butch. Ain't nobody wanting to go see Butch headline every weekend. They don't.
Right.
We get it. And that club is being held afloat by like loyal friends and acquaintances of Butch and Coby. Like everyone who comes in there, it's like they know. Right?
Yeah.
And maybe Atlantic City's just that small knit of a town and they've been there that long. But
That's sad
again,
what's happening to that city.
watch that calendar. Keep your eye on the calendar of this club. You're going to start seeing a lot of Butch Bradley weekends. And it's the off season. And it's tough to weather a business climate in a storm. In a winter storm. On an all winter's eve.
This is why I didn't want to come in here and do your weedest show.
You're being a weedist. Continuing.
pay you. But you aren't going to put that on, are you? Why would you be fucking trying to fuck me over when I'm the only... Are you putting money in comics' pockets?
Yeah, I got James paid.
Yeah. Thank you, Patrick.
Also,
thank you, NLO.
Also, I do comedy shows and pay the comics for them. You know, what the fuck do you want to do? Call Louis J. Gomez. Call Dante Nero. Call J.L. Coven. Call fucking comics and ask them if they did a show for me in October that I paid them on. What do you want to do? Call Kurt Metzger, ask if he was booked on that show for money. He didn't show. He's filming his own TV show that night and he got caught up. The point is, like, talk to comics and see if I'm putting... I get it. I don't have a club. But guess what? My room was fucking packed and people who bought tickets had to leave because there was nowhere to sit. Creek in the Cape. You're out of your minds. I'm not against comedy. I'm not anti-comedy. I've done shows in fucking Vegas and Houston and Minneapolis and fucking New York and fucking Florida and fucking LA and fucking London. And I bring comics and pay comics way. You're out of your mind. Yeah, I get it. I don't have a club. But double check all that shit I just said. It's true. You're being really talkative for a guy who doesn't know what he's talking about. Butch, can I call you Bruce?
No, I am. I worked my fucking dick off to get where I am.
Oh, that's why it's missing.
You think for 1 fucking minute I'm going to let you fuck that up? You're dreaming. You are dreaming, man. You're dreaming. You are fucking dreaming.
Hey, Butch, one question. Am I dreaming?
You're fucking dreaming.
Let me... Oh, I got to put this...
You
God
know
damn it,
what?
How did I
guess
lose
what?
it? We
Guess
got to
what?
listen
You
again
record
now.
this, because I already put a
I
fucking
winded
call
it
in
back.
to a monster place that I'm going to tell the story on. So it's going to be awesome. Because I want you to know something.
I'll let him finish.
I'm your fucking friend. We all fucked up. And you are hurting comedy right now. Because everyone was paid but you. And I'm sorry. And I'm trying to pay you. But you aren't going to put that on, are you? Why would you be fucking trying to fuck me over when I'm the only... Are you putting money in comics' pockets? No, I am.
I'm the one who knocks.
Breaking Butch.
More like Seisenberg, am I right?
my fucking dick off to get where I am. And if you think for 1 fucking minute I'm going to let you fuck that up, you're dreaming. You are dreaming. You are fucking dreaming. You're dreaming. You are fucking dreaming. The call I got going in is going to be your career end. You are fucking dreaming. Fucked up.
It's so great.
The call I got going in is going to be your career ender. You fucked up.
Here's the thing is that call was so crazy that it took me 5 seconds to realize you were looping back in the second.
You are fucking dreaming.
I was like, did he do that? Can he talk twice? Like at the same time? Like, because I would believe it. He's like, I recorded myself saying this one thing, and I'm gonna because he is all over the place.
You are fucking dreaming.
That is.
I wish I was. This is a nightmare.
Yeah.
This is bad. So let me tell everybody the news.
Yeah.
Well, I was wondering about this. Like, oh, he's got a call in that's gonna be my career ender. Can I tell you? What the call was?
This American Life.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually going to be on the next live coverage of the Professional Bowlers Tour. These guys, Coby called in, everybody called in. This is, I'm in the comedy world and you hear shit. Coby called in to try to get Butch onto the Howard Stern show to trash a young unknown comedian. And
Bravery.
Howard Stern et al. LOL'd at you. You're not getting on Stern. Career reinstated.
Phew, that was a close one, Patrick.
Can I tell you something? The person I found this out from, who knows people at Howard Stern, I asked and said, can you please ask them to reconsider and let him on? I'm not kidding you.
Yeah, I believe.
What do you think that would be a court of public opinion? AKA the fucking net.
That would have been the best.
How do you think that's going to go? Yeah, let's put Butch on Howard Stern.
You are fucking dreaming.
I mean, are you fucking out of your mind? That's relevant.
You've got to be
Howard
able to sell
really
it as a
wants to
ringtone,
dive in to the fucking ins and outs of a shit box comedy club.
Right.
You are fucking dreaming.
How'd that go? And by the way, way to have Butch flap off about it before it happens.
I also just like the idea.
You are fucking dreaming.
Of Howard Stern is like, okay, well, thanks for stopping in, Jim Norton. That was great. That's really awesome. Now, just a second, we would like to have more time with you, but unfortunately, we had to bump Louis C.K. for this next big story. And I do a really good
Jim
Howard
Norton
Stern.
has his own radio show with Opie. I don't know how you don't know your morning radio, but he's not available for Howard.
I know. I was just trying to think of who would be a name that they would.
Jim Norton on Howard?
You are fucking dreaming.
Oh,
that's what it was, everybody. We figured this out. That's what it was. They tried to get Butch onto Howard to talk shit. Can you imagine how it'd go? First of all, Howard would love me to call in and refute it. He'd love to have the argument on his show.
Yeah.
And You know, I'd be willing to do. I'm not shitting you, Butch. Any fucking giant venue you want to go on and talk about this, I'm game, boy. I'm game. Can you call an older man boy?
I don't know, but I was just picturing a Game Boy, like the old.
I'm a game boy. I'm a game boy. And I know what you're thinking.
You are fucking dreaming.
And I am. Of a white Christmas. Is money white?
No, you're colorblind. I hate to tell you, Patrick.
Coby, you can take send me cash or a cashier's check, and you can wrap it around your dick. Wrap the check around your dick and just kind of give it a couple jerks and feel like you really got me. You know, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll cash a dick check.
We've all cashed dick checks before.
Yeah. If it's coming from Coby, it's going to be a dick check.
Oh,
believe
totally.
me.
It's
There's
definitely gonna have some of his seed on it.
No, I just mean it's coming from a real dick.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess this is going to get bad and go to court. And I may need a lawyer. I want everyone to know that. And you're going to see this in the press, in some press. And
it's going to be a monster press.
You guys are going to...
Monster.
Coby, this is going to be a local press thing. It's not going to oversell it like some kind of maniac.
Yeah.
No, we're going to make it where anytime anyone Googles either of your names or the club, they find out that you're both still adamant. And by the way, at this point, I understand this. Coby is the one refusing to pay. Coby has the money. Butch has nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
Butch is a comic. Butch fucked this up. But Butch has nothing to do with this. If Butch could pay me, I believe he would.
Yeah.
But Butch can't. And they're arguing about the money and the room service and the drinks. And at this point, none of that's even up for discussion. It's $1,200. It's what I'm owed. It's what we shook on. We shook on it. You looked me in the eyes, man. And it's what it is. It's insane that you want to put on this tough guy act. It's not about pride. It's not about any of that at this point. I think $1,200 is pretty fair.
Especially considering you've spent 5 weeks now trying to get it.
Yeah. Do you know how much I've spent in domains alone?
That should be part of your legal
Plus
argument.
the 15,000 free drink coupons I've had printed up for your club. Well, you know, I told him when I left, I said, I have one in my hotel. Will you give me credit for that? Because I won't see you again. I left it in my hotel. And they were like, no, we've heard that before. Well, so I sent this to a graphic designer fan of ours, and he had these made up. There's just thousands of them. He's sending them to every hotel in the area.
Oh, that's the best.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh, you're my hero. Oh, my God.
And again, come sue me. You can have it all. I would love to reset button on this life. I mean, really. Like, I'm serious. You don't even understand the IRS debt I have. So spend away. Spend more than the fucking 12 on your lawyer. Because nobody's scared over here. And by the way, ain't nobody scared of truth. It's just what it is. Right is right. Truth is truth. You hired someone, you pay them.
Yeah.
It's not about how good it was. You were lied to about all that, by the way. You just pay. You just pay what you said you would pay. And you go, we won't hire that guy again. And don't worry about it. I won't work there again.
Yeah. I've seen that happen at Helium. I've seen people
get fired midweek.
I've seen people go way under their time. Headliners go way under their time. And basically, they're asked to do more time. They're like, hey, look, this is what... And then at the end, as far as I know, they still got paid. They got everything they wanted. They just never worked there again. That was just... It's just the things I've seen at a... And Helium is a ridiculously great club. Like, it is... Like, it is...
And you can share my experience on this. Not at any point did anybody come on before the show and go, turn your cell phones off. Keep your table talk to a minimum. Don't heckle.
Right.
Don't shout out. It's a show.
Right.
Like, there's no, like, announcements. There's no professional... It doesn't feel like a show, right? It feels like a bar where comedy is happening, kind of.
It happens at the people, and they don't really know how this works.
Because Butch is friends with everybody, that's the only audience members that really come out to this shit. in my experience, is like, business acquaintances and partners.
Yeah.
And, like friends.
Yeah.
College buddies and stuff. Butch put drinks from a college friend of his on my tab and told Coby it was mine to pay. Like, see, this is why I don't know. This is why I don't know what the real drinks, $180 tab. No. It never happened.
Yeah.
So, I can't trust shit. And I don't trust either one of them now. Coby's told me he'd call me for 2 fucking days.
Nothing.
Nothing.
You are fucking dreaming.
Yeah. Maybe I am. I don't know. There's no real easy way to end this. I don't know if we have anything that we really haven't talked about in detail. But anything you can think of? I mean, anything we haven't touched? There's so much. I mean, it'll never be everything. It'll never be everything.
It'll never be everything. But wait, just.
But I did want to update everybody. Coby did pay James, and that's commendable, I guess. But again, I don't believe the motive behind it. I don't think he would have ever gotten paid if it weren't for us. I know he hates that. He feels betrayed that he paid him, and now he's talking.
Yeah. Well, I was like, what I told was selling Butch was like, look, if I get paid now, I have a much more boring story. And I said this for like 3 weeks.
Well, like, I'm not going to go talk.
But I do. I have a much more boring story than you do. But I still have a story.
Yeah, and it adds up. And especially when other people see the story and start coming out of the woodwork going like, that guy didn't pay me either.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's why I'm doing this, because it's especially what Britney was saying is like, there are a lot of other people who aren't speaking up. Like, well, I'm not going to be the person who just shuts up because they got paid and it's easier to walk away when I see somebody who helped me make sure I get paid is getting lied about and getting fucked over for their money.
And by the way, I'm finding out, Coby's not the guy. I did some digging and everybody seems to love Coby and stuff. That's not the case. People pretend to like Coby.
Yeah.
And behind the scenes, people are very quick to open up shit about Coby. So, it's all just snakes in your garden, dog.
Yeah.
It's all coming down.
Yeah, man.
We're coming to the club! What if Patrick Melton's comedy Hideaway. Like that. Nice ring. Can you imagine?
I just based on how things are going there,
Dude,
I would not.
I found that place going through, staying one night, went and did a guest set. My guest set was a 15-minute set before Butch.
Yeah.
Headlining.
Yeah.
I featured for free.
Yeah.
By the way, so again, I featured for free, and they tried to charge me. I had Diet Coke and a bottle of water. They tried to charge me $8 for each of those.
Wow.
While I was there.
Wow.
On the way out, Coby did give me the cash back out of his pocket that I paid on my credit card.
Yeah.
But that's what's going on there. A blue-collar service industry town. $8 sodas in a can. Not even like a,
That is, no, it's much better down there. Well, you got to pay off Nucky Thompson.
Yeah, it is his old stomping grounds. And then I had a good set, and they booked me to headline, and I come back, and it's just another fucking world. Like, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
But the warning signs were there when I go back through and like think about every interaction with them. It was a mess.
Yeah.
Those guys love to have a club and brag about having a club, and they're doing none of the work.
Yeah.
There's no manager. There's no one running it. 2 of the nights, Friday and Saturday, no sound guy. Butch is back there doing sound.
Yeah, that was both nights. Yeah,
because they're at the strip club.
Yeah.
It's Larry. It's the same dude.
Oh, yeah. It was the one thing I'll say is to the local comics there is a good South Jersey scene. I know people reach out to me.
A lot of comics.
Yeah, and it's not. It's going to be a little bit of a drive, but it's not that far. Just across the river from Philly. I'm not asking you to go all the way into Philly, but there is a good South Jersey scene. I will get you in touch with those people and try to help you get other spots.
Well,
and
there's
do things
other
like
stuff
that.
going on in Atlantic City.
Yeah, I know. There's another guy.
And by the way, I own the domains AC Stand Up, Stand Up AC, AC Laughs. I own all this stuff now. If you guys want to take one of those and set up a forum or a community or a comedy, get something going in Atlantic City, you guys can open, put all the open mics on it. I own all these domains, and I have no malicious to Coby. You can have CobyFrier.com when this is over.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm not trying to fucking ruin you, dude.
Just want to get paid.
I know he doesn't believe any of this shit. He thinks I'm a stoner, pothead loser.
Yeah.
I'm a comic who works everywhere. Everywhere, dude. And I've never had this problem. You're being lied to. Step the fuck up. Do the right thing. Get your head out of your ass. You're not bringing me down. You're not bringing me down. I'm already down. Bottom of the fucking barrel. Okay? There's nothing you can do to me. So come after it if that's the guy you want to fucking be. But I know you don't. I'm calling your bluff. I know you don't. You have kids. You have a fucking life. You have businesses. You don't want to do this. You're being retarded. Everyone on Twitter's telling you you're being retarded.
Yeah.
Get your head out of your ass. Like, pay your fucking debts. It's so shitty what you're willing to let go.
Mm-hmm. And too many are piling up, and now it's
just
you
out of control. I'm done asking
and Britney and all these things, and apparently it sounds like between what the two of you are saying, there's more, and there's more coming out, and I'm happy to. I'm not even a big story, but I'm just part of the community of people who it was way too difficult to get paid, and it shouldn't have happened, and so if there's other people out there who are in that spot, speak up, and it helps to end this. It really does, because it helps to end it. If there are 1,000 people saying this, even if there are 10 people saying this, it makes a huge difference.
It does. And everybody on Twitter is doing a great job. Hashtag DoAC, Butch_Bradley, Coby1023, and at Hideaway AC. But yeah, everybody in Atlantic City needs to fucking know what's going on there. No audience member would read what they're doing and go to this club. No comic. And again, I understand the comics that are working in there. I get it. I do get it. So I don't think like comics that go work the club are shit because they don't have anywhere to. I know there are other places, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I get it. Stage time.
I don't blame them.
But don't buy into it as though it's
but
something
these guys,
huge. It's not.
These guys, Zach, and by the way, I'm not even gonna say it. It's not. I don't want to damage anybody. I'm not after anyone, so it doesn't fucking matter. But you guys are fucking retarded if you think like, you're some prized asset there. You're not.
You're being used.
And you can be loyal all you want. You're turning your back on other comedians. I'm comedian full time. It's what's on my tax return. Okay? Isn't that what you guys want to get to if you're like a local 2-year comic in Atlantic City? Isn't that your goal? Like, why would you fucking fight a guy who's saying I didn't get paid and you were all at the show? To say I was shit is fucking disingenuous. I'm mad about it now.
Yeah. Well, you want to
I'm
cuddle?
No.
I knew this was going to happen. We started off with this.
It's like you guys know, and a million comics have told me. I posted one of the conversations. Like the shows were fine. It was nobody there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I guess Coby was told I disappeared for a show. We had 3 people there who were Butch's friends. Butch wanted to do a show.
Yeah.
And I was like, really? And he's like, yeah, let's just do a show. I didn't know because nobody talks truth. He's like, Coby thinks if we don't do a show, then no comics get paid. Hey, Coby, that's not how it works. No one shows up to your club all weekend and there's no shows. The comic still gets paid for every show.
Yeah.
You booked a comedian. I'm there. My week was given up for you. But I was like, don't do a show for 3 people. It's not going to be good. Little did I know 10 wouldn't be better. But we went to eat. We talked to him. We went to eat with another comic. Disappeared.
Yeah.
Then I come back, and those other people, by the time I went on headlining, had been drinking 5 hours and couldn't stop screaming and clapping.
Yeah.
Like, there's no one going to blame me for any of this shit.
That was the Saturday Late Show for us. It's just people. There were 7 people there, and they were
Did Butch move everyone
hammered.
up front at your shows?
No. There was the Friday Late Show. There were comedians that, I went up because I was trying to set it up for the headliner. I was like, hey, look, it's more fun if we're sitting up front. And you just do it that way. We're just like, hey, let's just have a good time sitting up front. Like, if you're, spread out, and you don't yell at them. Like, there's a way to do it. And there's a way to do it because I do like that. But
And it says
instead
something.
instead of screaming at them, hey, move up front. I just like, hey, look, this is more fun. If you're watching this show, rather than having 3 tables spread out of 2 people, let's just have 6 people right up front, and we'll just have fun.
Yeah,
And
the
it'll be
problem
cool.
is they're all on their phone. No
Yeah.
one's watching the show.
Yeah, and at that point, I was just trying to do my 7 minutes and get out of there for the headliner.
Yeah, it's shit.
That was the
It's
Friday
shit.
show where he told me do 5 minutes, and I spent 2 of it just politely, and I was like, and then let's just have fun. I was just cheerleading, resetting the show for the headliner.
It was a bad business move. Not to sound shitty on the whole thing, but opening that club was a shit business move, and I get it. Britney Shannon's Hideaway opened in April, and Butch Bradley's Hideaway opened in August.
It has the established 2015 sign on it, which is the funniest thing to me. I'm like, it's still 2015. Maybe you take that down.
Yeah, doesn't it have to last all of it to count? Like the Caitlyn Jenner thing. Like, how are you Woman of the Year when you haven't been woman for a year?
Yeah.
It's at some point, like, just the phraseology of the thing doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a bad business move. The Comedy Shop had been open for 30 years, and the owner was like, "This isn't a viable business in this market anymore," and closed. And he was in the Trop.
Yeah.
You're in an alley. And call it whatever you want. You're in a fucking dark, dangerous street.
Yeah, it is.
Next to the shadiest shit.
If I wasn't like a bigger guy, I would not have felt comfortable there. And even then, I was like, I'm gonna walk right from my hotel to the club.
Yeah.
I'm a block away, but that's it. That's all I'm doing. I'm not.
If
I'm
I
not
get
walking
stabbed
around
more than
this
twice,
neighborhood.
I'm gonna file a suit.
Yeah. 3 times tops.
But yeah, it's not a good location, and I don't buy the other thing either. He had this club called AC Dolls. There was apparently this giant club, and everything I've read, he voluntarily closed that to move because they were trying to clean up that area and moved it to that location. It's like,
That doesn't sound.
why
right.
would anyone move to that location?
Yeah. We want to get in on the ground floor of this episode of The Wire.
By the way, it's not. You got to go up the stairs to see the comedy.
Yeah. Fuck.
The ground floor is a locker room for private members to keep their scotch.
Yep.
It's a mess.
Yeah.
Give me that club.
When he sues you, he's gonna get that button too.
Yeah. I don't know what the answer is, man. And I don't know where we stand. I've been told 2 days now he would call me and he didn't. So I guess we're back to shit.
Well,
So I'll wait. I honestly can't believe it hasn't happened yet. I'm waiting for a knock on the door and to be served papers. Mm-hmm. I expect it any day. Or a knock on the door and it to be Butch's goons. Butch goons.
it almost sounds adorable.
But whatever it is, seriously, whatever you want to fucking do it. You're in the wrong. It's money you said you'd pay. It's not up for negotiation at this point.
Yeah, and it's all. This is the thing is, if all of this was just conversations that happened in a room between everybody, that would be one thing. But it's all in fucking text message and email
And video.
It's all there. This isn't.
I'm telling you, there's no evidence that supports anything you're saying.
Yeah, there's nothing, and there's tons of evidence just saying you
Of
said you were
bad
gonna
stuff.
pay.
Of bad stuff. And it's so shitty. I don't want to tarnish Butch's fucking name.
Yeah,
I like Butch. We'll never be friends again. He'll never talk to me again. Whatever.
yeah.
I'll live. I'd never heard of him before August. And that's not an insult. There's a million comedians I've never heard of.
Right.
I had a good time hanging out with him. Now he hates me. Sorry, you own a club and I begged you and you told me to fuck off through inaction.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to do. Is $1,200 more than our friendship, Patrick? Is that what you're saying? Yeah. You expect me to just be like, Butch, take your time. I'll get it in March.
You are fucking dreaming.
I just don't understand. And why me? Why me? Coby hated me, wanted to fire me Tuesday night. I had 4 McAllens. Apparently that blew him away. That I had 4 shots of McAllen. So I come in Thursday and get handed 2 drink tickets.
Yeah.
And told, all the headliners get 2 drinks. This is what we do.
Okay.
So then I give them to Lena at the bartender. She's like, oh, we just started these. Then I talked to you, who was there the week after. I'm like, did you get drink tickets? You're like, no. So this was for me. The first night, they thought I was a drunk.
Yeah.
For having 4 drinks. You know, Butch is telling me he's friends with Bert Kreischer, who drinks a case of beer on stage.
I worked with them. We just bring they just bring
a bucket
of beers into the green room every night
and on stage.
Yeah, and to go on stage. Yeah, along with whatever else he was drinking.
Shirt is coming off and beers are going in.
Yeah,
that
great.
Happens every night.
And he puts on a fucking great show.
It's for you guys to stand around and be like, but Your Honor, these comics were smoking weed and drinking. Like, and duh. Like, this is your fucking big case.
I didn't get into comedy so that I could. It's like, no, I'm just gonna sit in an office from 9 to 5, go home and.
This guy owns a strip club and a fucking comedy club, and he's just like, drugs.
The worst one, the marijuanas.
Yeah. You can't knock one of those strippers down without hitting a Percocet. I don't even know what that means.
No, but if you
Sorry, feature dancers. I did not mean anything by that.
No, well, yeah.
Is she a nude dancer?
I don't know.
Like, is it because it's the verb? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is.
That probably has a bad connotation. It depends on who.
Like waitress and server.
Yeah, but I think it might also.
I think
what
server's
she does
way worse, by the way.
Yeah, but I bet I don't know. I've never seen Britney perform, but I would imagine that
she's got a production company.
Yeah,
she's an adult actress. She's doing fucking.
She's not just some girl who's out there like, oh, I'm gonna make whatever some shitty human being throws on stage.
Ride dicks into obscurity. She's like doing other. She's like a thing.
She's a fucking entrepreneur. She's like, she's way
Hence
smarter.
The club.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah. I wanted to open this club. It was a good opportunity to get paid and stuff. Yeah. But it didn't happen, and it didn't go well. And then it gets passed on to Butch, and then it doesn't go well.
Yeah.
But I don't know how you thought you do better than the Comedy Stop, which is like been there 30 years, and you think like, I know, I have a strip club. I know how to make comedy work. That worked out.
Went well.
James, I guess we should bail. We should get out of here. It's been a long night.
Yeah, it's been fun. Thanks so much for having me on, man.
Exhaustive evening.
Yeah, it's been fun to rant with you and listen to all this. And I appreciate it.
Do you want to plug anything? Do you have any big plugs to get?
I'll be in Raleigh this coming week. Wednesday.
Zone?
No, Good Nights.
I've never done that.
It's great. It's a great room. Helium owns it now. But Wednesday through Saturday, I'm there with Alonzo Bowden.
And your Twitter and everything? Just
James Hesky, Hesky.
More like James Hefty.
Oh, actually, I always hear Husky, so Hefty is actually really nice, and I appreciate it.
It rhymes better.
It's way better.
Kind of.
Yeah. I like
James
it more.
Hesky on Twitter. I hope you'll be back, man. We had a good time. We can have a non-traumatic show in the future.
Let me know how I can help.
Guys, thanks for following again. Tons of stuff on the Overdose coming out for this, including the full Butch calls. It's just insanity. Join the Overdose. NobodyLikesOnions.com/overdose. It's $10 a month to get you access to all of our video. Every show in our archive, all the way back to 2005. Thousands and thousands of hours of audio. You're not going to believe it, and your mom called and said it's great. So you should probably check that out sooner than later.
Does it go from east to west, y'all? Body free and a body less, y'all. Come again just to start afresh and once again to find a home in the moment of the meantime. Dropping in, coming through the mess, y'all. Checking in just to get it blessed, y'all. Hard to leave when it's picturesque.